it, that's when we're really going to start to see the true colors reign through. All right, this is it. The grand final is here. But before we get into it, Jonah is standing by for one last vibe check with our fans.
Thank you, Ian. This is what it's all about. The grand final with so many different records on the line. Can Troy Canadian find himself 2 major titles and 2 6 invitational titles? Can Ambi find the kill record in a major ever? Or can Kino be the first player to get back-to-back major wins with 2 separate teams? So here's what we're gonna do. You guys have been so incredible rooting for these North American teams against the world. Now it is North America versus North America. So I need to know who thinks Dark Zero is gonna take this? All right, now let's hear it for Shopify Rebellion! Now here's what we need to do. We are gonna turn off the lights once again, and I'm gonna need your help to get there. We're gonna count down from 5, and then this place is gonna go dark. We're gonna get quiet, and this thing is going to begin. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Shopify.
As darkness fills Salt Palace once again. You can do better than that. We can't see you, but we can hear you, Salt Lake City. Out of all the teams that ventured into the dark, only 2 were brave enough to make it their ally. Are we ready? This is the grand finale of the Salt Lake City Major. Let's bring out our 2 top teams. The dark, you must show 0 fear. They already turned the world champions' lights out and have silverware in their sights. Welcome, Dark Zero! And their opponents. Rebels with a cause. They've found a fire we've not seen from them ever before. And they're here to extinguish one final threat. It's Shopify Rebellion! There's a lot of history here. We've already discussed it on the desk. Troy, Fultz, I just want to know what you want to say to each other first.
Yeah, I mean, don't really have much to say today. I know it's going to be a good match. Me and my guys are going to play hard, and I have a lot of respect for these guys and Troy, so that's really it.
Same goes here. He's one of my favorite teammates of all time, one of my best friends, and like, I got nothing but respect. I know that he's a competitor. I know I'm a competitor. I know we're gonna have a hell of a match, and it's as simple as that.
You've got your fans here. You've got your fans here. What do you want to say to them?
Just get loud, man. I know they got some. Yeah, I know they have some big content creators and such on their side, so I know that carries some weight. But you know, I feel like we're those guys. So.
Troy, what do you want to say to your fans?
Just thank you. Yesterday genuinely brought tears to my eyes, but I'm excited to be here. I'm not gonna take this for granted. I know the rest of the guys aren't either. We're so excited. Let's get fucking loud and let's have a great fucking match, yeah? Let's go!
Quick handshake. Best of luck, guys. Now, you as a crowd have been phenomenal all weekend, but we haven't done one true big test. So let's let everybody in the vicinity know how loud we can get. Salt Lake City, if you are ready for your grand final, make some noise! All right, now I know you can get loud. Who's taking this? Is it Dark Zero? Or will it be Shopify Rebellion? The players are ready. The crowd is hyped, as you can tell. There was only one duo calling the action for this one. Jesse and Parker, take it away.
Well, thank you so very much. It was 4 long years ago on the other coast of this country that we saw the last North American versus North American Derby. And it was one of these orgs that won it and one of these men who won it. But they're on different sides of the stage now. And in fact, this is just our 3rd All-NA Derby. We got to go all the way back to Continuum versus Era Eternity in 2017. How many of you here watched the first 6 Invitational?
Couple of them.
And guess what? Troy's team has won every single one of these NA versus NA matchups. So the question we asked, Jesse, will Troy go 3 for 3 or will DZ blunt that momentum and win their 2nd All-NA matchup? I don't know about you, Jesse. I am very excited. Do you have any predictions for this NA showdown?
Parker, this is one of those games that is just impossible to call on paper, but I'll tell you one thing. Both other times in history when we've had all NA finals, it has gone the distance. A full 3 maps back at the first SI, a full 5 maps in Charlotte. So I can promise you one thing, this is about to be a crazy best of 5.
And we'll start on Nighthaven Labs. No time being wasted whatsoever. The good people of Salt Lake City seem to think that the edge is for the Rebellion, and the community backs it up as well. This is going to be a barn burner. I am certain of it. When we saw the brackets a couple days ago, we said it is entirely possible that North America has 2 teams to cheer for, and no matter what, part of this crowd is going to go home happy. It's a lot closer than I thought it would be.
Yeah, no doubt, Parker. It definitely feels like the fans from both teams have come out to support. It's not just the players, it's the coaches, it's the organizations behind these teams as well. So much blood, sweat, and tears have been put into these 2 rosters just to make it here. Shopify Rebellion, of course, months and months of not making roster moves, of not being accepted, of those poor performances in Munich, poor performances in Paris, but now they've made it to a grand finals in Dark Zero. It's been a dark couple of years for that organization, but a big rebuild at the start of this season has come through, and this team is looking deadlier than ever.
I know that it's been said on broadcast many times, but the tagline for this major, darkness is your ally. Well, it's in the name, Dark Zero, and they have been in that darkness. They are hoping that the light at the end of the tunnel is coming in a hurry. I think it's fair to say that both of these organizations have had a series of struggles over the last year. Dark Zero, obviously, a couple years back, let's just talk about it, made the move to get rid of Canadian. And since then, the team has hit nowhere near the same level of success. And it only took until a crazy roster move where they brought in the core of that space station roster, an organization on which, as Troy alluded to, he and Fultz won a world championship. Is that enough for Dark Zero to overcome this hurdle and win just the second major in their org's history?
Well, Parker, when you lose Canadian, the team starts to struggle a bit. Why not bring in the guy who trained under Canadian? Our guest broke it down beautifully, but of course, Fultz lifting that hammer beside Troy, of course, has moved over to be one of the best IGLs in North America since that match. It's been a very long time since those two teams, or those players have shared a team, but man, you know how deep the history runs. Nighthaven Labs, as you mentioned, is where we're going to kick things off. The double electricity ban, so common to come through from Shopify Rebellion, but DZ a bit more targeted. Snake is a very common operator for Ambi to play on this map. It's not a surprise to see that getting removed. And also the Ace, one of the most powerful hard breachers that we have here in Rainbow Six, and a favorite of Spoits here on Nighthaven.
Jesse, we didn't really get to talk a lot about this map pool, but you being the numbers guy can dive into it. Chalet has been a statement map for Dark Zero, and it will be played. We know that the first 3 maps will see usage. Whether we go to Cafe, whether we end on Lair, that remains to be seen.
Yeah.
But Chalet, Nighthaven Labs, these are the 2 maps for these 2 teams.
Yeah, 100%. Both teams got exactly what they wanted to start off this best of 5. Shopify Rebellion 3-0 this season, beating 1 of 30 EDG and Enterprise, the last 2 over the last couple of weeks here in Utah. So they've got quite a bit of experience. Now that means the VOD advantage goes a little bit over towards Dark Zero, but SR will of course have accounted for that. They'll be bringing some new strats in for this first round, of course, on Storage.
And this was something that we did reference when we casted them on Nighthaven Labs long ago, which is that you get a bit overexposed, and if you don't change things up, while it is a comfortable map for you, they might have a good read on it. Maybe J90 has a good read on it as he picks off the very first player and gets kill number 1 in what will be a long series.
Surf a bit disconnected from his teammates there. That's okay, because the answer back comes through from Spoit. Immediate trade from NJR, though, and the numbers continue to favor DZ.
The man they call the mayor. It was in Charlotte where he won his very first major, teaming with Canadian on that Dark Zero squad. He's looking to go 2 for 2. He's at a bit of a roller coaster when it comes to success here in the North American League, and his numbers are real nasty. He runs into Ambi, another player who's had some pretty nasty numbers too. And we go back to a 3v3 with just over a minute to go.
Yeah, big frag coming out there, of course. Ambi and NJR, the 2 frontrunners for MVP of the tournament. This finals is undoubtedly going to determine which of those 2 lifts that, of course, most important title. Getting the victory so important as well. Now, we got 60 seconds left, Parker. 3 players alive on both sides. I like this position for Shopify Rebellion. They've got really good soft reach, of course, with Ambi still existing on the Ram. They'll know where a couple of these players are at, but watch out for some of these tricks. Fultz on the Pulse, Kino on the Thorn. There are some tricks up the sleeve of Dark Zero that could really put a thorn in the side of this attack.
They've got that boogie drone up top. Canadian was also looking to go onto the Twitch drone to gain some more information, so Rebellion using that intel so effectively. Fultz training under the master of Canadian on that Pulse operator. He'll know that quite well. The Razor Bloom hit by Canadian. That's good information for Dark Zero as they are ever so patient. Rubber will now hit the road. We are running out of time in this very first round. Canadian has found an opening. Is there intel to be had? Yes. Fultz down below. Rexon punishing Newers. Now it's Kino called into action. It might rest on the shoulders of Fultz to clutch. As Kino fires away hopelessly, Nitro Cell goes out, shot by Ambi. There goes Kino, and Fultz will have to retake. HPs make this very doable. Rexon, Canadian, and Ambi all very, very low. But all SR needs to do is just sit and wait. Fultz isolated outside of the bomb site. This is a tough one, and he'll walk into a crossfire. It's Canadian to take down Fultz. How poetic for the final kill of round 1.
It's the Rebellion who are known as the Kings of Nighthaven, and for good reason, Parker. DZ trying something a little sneaky. They go Storage for their first site. They play that Pulse down below, but it was perfectly read by SR. That Nitro Cell from Fultz could have been a disaster as the plant was going down with very little time left on the board, but that's okay. Ambi was ready for it. Rexon was hitting some beautiful shots. It was a battle of the minds to start things off. And again, you kind of come to expect these styles of attacks from SR, where sometimes it gets a little bit slow. Yes, the opening death didn't go their way. They lost that opening frag, but it didn't matter because the trades in the top floor were good enough. They still left themselves with 60 seconds to go for the execute, and that's plenty of time for Canadian to hold that.
And Canadian obviously been under the microscope quite a lot. These 2 teams are very different in the way that they approach Rainbow Six Siege, right? Canadian, a dedicated hard support for a while. Spoit was also in that same role. but they've let the dog off the leash here in Salt Lake City, and Spoit has been moved to a more aggressive, more forward fragging role, and because of it, his numbers have flourished. Now, this weekend it's been the Ambi show, but let's not forget that you needed Spoit, one of the best rated players during phases 1 and 2 to get you here. If Canadian can get a couple early picks and the rest of the team continues to frag, everything is going well for Shopify Rebellion at that point.
Spoit was crowned a major champion in Berlin back in his very first stage of competitive Rainbow Six. He ended that tournament with an EPS of 108. He enters this final with the exact same rating, an EPS of 108, but the KDR couldn't be more different. 131 so far here through Salt Lake City. That has been an exceptional stat line for Spoit, and it's been a big reason why SR have gotten this far.
I don't know if you saw the graphic that was shared with Shopify Rebellion before yesterday's matchup, or it might have been 2 days ago. They tend to blur together, but it basically showed the Battle of the Spoits, where during kickoff, he actually had 1 fewer kill, but 30 more deaths. So far more efficiency here, and it really does speak to Rebellion changing things up. For Dark Zero, though, the stylistic difference. They've got 3 to potentially 4 dedicated support players, and you've allowed Newers and NJR to run roughshod over your opponents. It's been working. NJR's been terrific, but if their fraggers can't frag, Dark Zero might not have enough in the tank to catch up.
Well, Pulse will return for Dark Zero on their second defense, but instead of the captain, it'll be held by Kino. We saw in the picture-in-picture, he's getting good information to start things off. There's a heavy roam presence coming through. Newers, of course, the primary roamer, the primary entry on Dark Zero. He's going to be the first one who likely comes into contact with this roam clear from SR. They don't have to full clear this whole map. We see teams go pretty direct just through cafeteria at times, but it does look like the Rebellion want to clear out some of these roamers before they go for their executes. Newers a little bit solo here at the top of fish stairs.
Got to see the logic bombs used by Ambi to deny time and gain some valuable information. If you watch the reveal panel that went on right before this, say goodbye to the Dokkaebi you know and love. She is seeing some changes, so the last real window before somebody lifts that Dokkaebi-themed trophy sitting between these two teams. It's been a good run for that Korean operator, but a new look is never a bad.
5v5, they really haven't actually committed to this roam clear, Parker. They're okay with there still being some defenders up above. They can maybe try to sneak a plant in under some smokes or some other utility. Spoit inside a cafeteria. There's a player just on the other side of this wall. I believe that falls close on the window. If Spoit's not ready for this could be a massive blunder, but he repositioned slightly.
Still have the pulse though, but in a different player's arms. That's Kino now upstairs gaining a ton of information here. Logic bombs will go off. Kino will be known for the time being. Second round in a row. Dark Zero will strike first. Newers takes down Canadian. Ambi trades it right back. There goes NJR. Is Kino in a position where he needs to maneuver? Yes, as J9O bites the dust, so does Fultz. It's Kino and Newers now in tough spot. There goes Newers. It's a full court press, and SR will start off their map 2-0.
This is gonna be
Beautiful attack coming out from the Rebellion once again, Parker. We haven't seen the primary site for most teams up on the top floor, but down in the basement, SR, they take their time with that push. They again lose the opening pick. Early attack coming from DZ.
You guys hear me? Yep. Go back to supply. We're gonna fight these guys up. Don't give them space off of it. Volker, if you want to ban the fucking Ram, they're gonna go in consolidations we can, but I'm sick of doing this. We're just giving them space and let them take our ass. Fight them on supply.
If they side ISO, what's our plan?
Go flow down and fight them on it.
Alright.
And then especially like before they even do it, like when they are clearing off that, I want to get more aggressive with the mid around here. Like don't let them just poke around for free and keep poking around and going to what they want to do.
Yeah. Let's start looking for early kills.
Yeah. Start looking for the early kills. The micros on these guys. Try to break their own board even source for them.
Alright. Let's go supply base then.
After that, kind of read it as seeing how supply goes. I think you go back to the basement. You could also maybe go to like fucking man or kitchen. Just whichever one you want after.
Yo, run the mirror. Run the mirror. I can run the mirror.
Striker, beepers.
Supply base, sure.
what?
Okay.
Supply base. You go Azami.
You run the mirror book.
Coach Callout not mincing words in that attack timeout. A little frustrated, even just 2 rounds deep into the series, but wants to cut out some of the crap, right? Banning out that Ram is a possibility for them if they don't want to deal with that vert pressure that SR have been playing so well, but really just needs to get the team back on track here. Down 2-0 on the defense for Nighthaven Labs. Even though this is SR's home, this is where they thrive as a team. You can't be happy with a result like that.
No, not at all. Very disappointed dad vibes.
Yeah.
I felt like I was ashamed. I feel like I wasn't pulling my weight there. And just a small note, we are a community, and of course this is a match that is celebrating Dark Zero and the Rebellion, but I don't know if any of you saw Fabian welcoming a child to the world over the last week. We just want to wish congratulations to Fabian. He is a new father. Yeah, you can cheer for Fabian.
5 seconds to go. If there's anybody who knows what it's like to be fathered by Fabian, it's Canadian.
That is true.
Bit of a history there, but no, of course, we're oh so happy for the coach of M80, Fabian, a huge moment in his life.
Kino obviously used to call Fabian dad as well when
Yep.
Kino was on that M80 roster, and we wish obviously him and his partner the best. I obviously don't have children. I have a cat. It's nowhere near the same, so I'm not going to try to relate to him, but I know it must be pretty proud moment, but also pretty stressful. So let's get back into this though. Timeout taken and a pretty swift way into Warehouse for Rebellion as they open that up. One thing, Jesse, that I've been noticing is the Rebellion have been exceptional with their drone work. This is something that was very evident in round number 1. It has carried on here now, and I don't know if we're going to see any changes from Dark Zero to deal with this. They do have a mute, but I mean, sometimes that's just not enough.
Well, clearly it's a completely different setup coming through from Dark Zero. They're playing the same bomb site as round number 1, notably 3 rounds deep, and we have not been to the top floor of Nighthaven Labs. That's very unusual, but clearly DZ have a game plan with this. There's that Ram that was potentially going to get banned after round 3, already being used by Ambi, hunting for an angle. Ooh, finds NJR, but not the head, so it's not good enough.
That's, we can use biblical terms. That's, well, I guess David won, so that's David versus David.
Okay.
Fighting to see which one of them will come out ahead. NJR and Ambi is the showdown that so many of us have wanted for much of this event, and right now Ambi is winning it quite handily. 3-0, the good start for the youngster,
Yeah.
and he's actually in position to break the major kill record, Jesse.
Oh, missed shots coming out from Newers there. Also a fantastic aggressive player from DZ who's been racking up the frags this event. Now the flashbangs are coming out though. They realize they need to get this top floor control. It's been a little bit too long, Parker, and they're not happy with the 5v5, so in comes the cavalry.
Bit of trepidation from Ambi as he now vaults on over. Logic bomb goes off. Rebellion looking to capitalize off this information. They've been held off the score sheet early, not this round. Ambi and Rexon strike for 2. That gives Canadian an opening. Spoits on the board as well. Everybody firing on all cylinders. Surf now on the board. Give it to Canadian, and it's a team ace. He does get the defuse kit down. Dark Zero left just up to Fultz, who's come up empty-handed more than we can count. There goes Spoit. No flawless round will be had for the Rebellion, but everything else is working in their favor. The Ram, a hindrance for them, still hurting them in the post plan as time runs down. Fultz, what do you do in this position? Well, you die to Ambi, that's it. Ambi 5-0 to start this contest, and Jesse, I did say Ambi is in striking distance of Usis' major kill record.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Parker. After this phenomenal start, you're right, Solotov, easy to get them mixed up. Of course, played on the same team for so long, but really, this has been domination from SR, and you're right, Ambi now leading the kills, 5-0 here on this first map. That brings him up to 170 total across this event. The record 203 set by Solotov at the Copenhagen Major, so there's definitely still a bit of a gap, and if this game continues the way that it has been, if we get a quick 3-0 for SR, there might not be time for it, but it's only a matter of time before DZ starts striking back. You've got to give credit to SR with how dominant they've looked on these early games, despite not getting the opening pick. How often do you hear broadcasters talk about the conversion rate of those entries? It's been a big talking point for these teams, specifically for Dark Zero, who have been the best conversion team of the entire event, winning 82% of rounds where they get that entry. But so far, they've lost 2 openings. They've been traded back really quickly on the side of SR, and they've always kind of came out of that early game still with a lead, still with an advantage. So Dark Zero, it's not enough just to get that first kill. They've got to find ways to actually win in the early game and going into those last 60 seconds with some kind of a man advantage.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but this is now, what was it, 7 rounds in a row for SR to send themselves to the grand finals. This will be round 10 technically in a row going back to yesterday. It's been quite a run for this Rebellion squad. They picked Nighthaven Labs. They presumably will start on the wrong side. The numbers do back that up. DZ has a better attacking win rate on this map, so things will likely get better for Dark Zero when the second half comes in. The Rebellion are good on both sides of this map. Yes, they are a better attacking team, but their defense is nothing to sneeze at either. The main goal for Dark Zero, which might sound very simple, but so far has been very hard, is do not let SR run up the score on you. Something's got to change. You've already used your timeout. What can you do if you're DZ?
4 rounds deep, and I'm going to keep harping on this, Parker. We've seen 3 bomb sites on Nighthaven Labs, and none of them are the traditional primary site of the top floor. Kitchen cafeteria being brought out by DZ. And Ambi, this is again one of those bomb sites where he almost exclusively runs the snake, so we'll move over to Adobe with that snake getting banned out. Gonna be trying to again work some of those opening picks. I believe it was Rexon in that last round who got that first frag, so hunting for it once more. But this is a classic setup from DZ. You've got the clash at the top of these lobby stairs. Canadian knows this position well. Has to be careful though. This concussions are coming in and making his life kind of scary.
Fultz saw those bullets whiz by as he was being hunted down by 2 players on that top floor. It was a bit of a rough go of it, and I mean, Fultz is not the guy that you expect to be racking up kills.
No.
He's the Canadian of Dark Zero. But if you're in that position, he almost went for it. And if you lose that duel, that's devastating for DZ.
Kino remains on the top floor, but he's still far from this meeting area that SR have control under. They're working the vert. Even without the ram, they're finding good opportunities, but no frags yet. 97 feet.
And just patrolling these openings. Kiva barrier's not usually used for horizontal coverage, but will have to be here. Oh, it's a misinput. How does J90 kill Fultz? That is such a blunder. And maybe it speaks to a little bit of nerves with this DZ team.
Yeah, obviously this is a big stage. They've yet to find their first round. They're feeling the pressure early here in Salt Lake City. They've got a couple of opportunities still to pull this one back. Again, Kino waiting on the flank for the perfect moment, but everybody on SR remains alive. They can keep somebody watching that flank, but at the same time they hit the site.
They've put Kino in clutch or kick positions many, many times, and kick unfortunately has happened on all three of them. There goes Ambi, Canadian as well. Suddenly, Dark Zero striking, I believe like a Viper is what people have been saying. NJR and Newers in semi-dire positions, but Rebellion are stalling out now with not a lot of time left.
Here comes the flashbang, here comes the fight. J90 takes a bit of damage from the DMR of Surf, but retreats back in towards the site. SR need to get a move on sooner rather than later.
Rexon yet to die. Ambi was in that same boat, but the boat sunk. So what can you do when you're staring down the wrong side of these numbers? Rexon collecting Newers. Who's next? Spoit dies to NJR. A second kill for the mayor. The Solus Aquino upstairs being hunted by Surf. Shotgun in the corner. Surf doesn't check it. And suddenly Rexon needs to win a 1v2 with 10 seconds to go. I don't know how I feel about this one. Diffuser going down. NJR and Kino both on utility ops. They will easily find him. And there's NJR to get his third. DZ is finally on the board.
Big bounce back from Dark Zero, defending that kitchen cafeteria site just like they had to. Really nice kind of kills coming through. It wasn't the opening frag, technically because of the TK, but I thought NJR was so critical, shutting down the backstab from Ambi early in that round, and then of course ending with the Nitro too. This Team K right on default. Bit of bad luck, bit of nerves, maybe a bit of revenge as well. Fultz leads the tournament in team kills so far in Salt Lake City. He has 2 coming into these grand finals. Nobody else has quite achieved that just yet, so I'm sure it's not intentional, but you know, it does speak to a little bit of chaos maybe in the DZ comms. They fight through it, they win this round, they're on the board.
And I mean, we speculated that nerves could be the culprit here, Jesse, but it's actually SR who have way less experience competing on this stage. J90's first event ever was on that Astralis team that made the Charlotte Major Finals. NJR winning a major in Charlotte. Fultz, of course, a world champion. Kino winning a major before. This is maybe uncharted territory for Newers and Callout, but if you look on the side of Rebellion, it is very, very different.
Even Callout was coaching that Astralis team back in Charlotte, right?
Right,
So
I almost forgot.
there's so much experience across both of these teams, but also so many heartbreaks, so many frustrations over the last couple of years in particular. It's been too long since we've seen an NA team not named M80 or Beast Coast lifting a trophy, finding success, dominating the international opponents that so often NA seems to struggle against. But now Dark Zero and the Rebellion have earned their place here in the Salt Lake City Grand Finals. DZ, desperate to tie this half. Again, 3-3 on Nighthaven Labs. That's bare minimum on the defense. You want to be racking things up, especially up against the Rebellion, who can be so good defending on this map, but they'll have to earn it. They'll have to work for it here, and we'll start on the bottom floor. Storage, excuse me, actually going to be the bomb site here. So the bottom floor presence a little bit cheeky coming out from NJR.
Bit deceptive.
Bit deceptive, but SR have spotted it out early. They're taking a lot of map control. Top floor, basement, mid floor. They're pressuring all different angles, and it's going to make it difficult for this DZ players to group up.
And Newers has to wait out that Lion scan. It's only J90 whose attention goes towards this SR assault. Newers was spotted by a drone and is now looking for some safety over by J90. He doesn't find it. That's a twofer on the side of Rebellion. Spoit and Ambi striking very quickly. Still 2 minutes to go in the round. This is quite the leg up for Shopify Rebellion.
Just messy from DZ. You can't be affording those frags. Of course, no trades coming out. They're just a little bit grouped up in the hallway. So the window player and, of course, the other hallway player on SR able to group things up. That's the entry duo of Ambi and Spoit. Now, how do you recover from DZ? They cannot sit around and wait for SR to execute 5v3. So they have to go hunting for picks. They have to start getting aggressive.
The drone work has just been so good for the Rebellion. So good. You've got lots of players active in these comms. Rexon right now droning his way through, either selfishly or to assist his teammates. I don't know if they've drawn NJR into this rat spot. And it might be a tricky one. NJR's got a good read on it. He has to watch the window, he has to watch a rotate, and the door frame. So 3 different areas for NJR to focus on. don't know about this. I think Rexon might have an idea, Jesse.
Yeah, they clearly have some kind of a idea. Oh, it's a little lost on the clash looking down when he had to look horizontal. It's a freebie for Richie now up to 7-1 and puts more pressure on NJR.
And NJR has to get active here. Another for Rexon. What a triumph. 4 points of the Spears for the Rebellion. Rexon, whose name has seemingly come up the least. Spoit will shut that one down. Canadian mid-plant, and it's back to business for SR as they go back up by 3.
This has been shocking, Parker. The fact that DZ have struggled so much here on Nighthaven Labs, it's not their strongest map, but it's not like it's one they never play. 2 matches so far this season, a loss to Wildcard back during the kickoff, but then beat Wildcard, got their revenge here in Salt Lake City, so they know how to play this map. This shouldn't be an unfamiliar position for DZ to be in, but they just feel a little bit lost. They feel a little bit disconnected. How many of these gunfights are going down where they're not even looking at the player shooting them back? Sometimes, like that NJR death, yeah, they're taking fair 50-50 fights, but even then, because of the drone economy, it feels like information is so much better from SR, and this is happening after you banned the Snake. This is after you've already banned Ambi's most played operator on this map. This is worrying for the guys on DZ.
I mean, if we've seen anything from Ambi over the entirety of this event, Jesse, it's that he is so flexible and he can kill you on both sides of the map. He can kill you on any bomb site. He is really a massive threat to take down, and he's well backed up by Rebellion. Again, a big stylistic difference between these teams. Lots of fragging potential on the Rebellion. There's still plenty of fragging on Dark Zero, but they are more support-oriented. They're a more well-rounded, quote-unquote, team.
Sure.
We said if NJR and Newer struggle in the kill department, we don't know if there will be enough for DZ. Well, so far, their star fraggers amount to 6 kills in 6 rounds. That is just simply not going to get the job done.
Well, finally, it took us 6 rounds, but we have made it to the top floor of Nighthaven Labs. And again, this is a bit of a double-edged sword, because if DZ do win this, there's going to be question marks. Why didn't they come here earlier? They come into this with this being their highest win rate bomb site, winning 2/3 of all rounds on this site here in Salt Lake City, so they've got some history with it, but I think it's deciding before this match began that being more unpredictable, trying to throw SR off was more important. They will finally go back to old reliable, and this kind of starts to test SR too, because now you've played 4 different sites, you've had to rack your brain for different strategies. They will no doubt be prepared and have plenty of experience attacking this top floor, but it's not an easy bomb site to deal with, really.
No shields played in this entire first half by Shopify Rebellion either. That is a minor change-up for this team. So again, if you think you're a bit overexposed here, and to be fair, they don't play a ton of shields here on attack.
Yeah.
But it is still abnormal to not see it at all. You did the 6-7 hand thing, by the way.
I know, I'm sorry, but Canadian plays a lot of Monty, specifically on this bomb site, which is why it's a little strange not to see it. Favoring the Ying, this is not a brand new up for Canadian, but we haven't really seen it since April, since the kickoff when SR played this map domestically. So you're gonna have to go a little bit back in your brain if you're DZ. If you're expecting this strategy, I'm sure they will be. NJR on that Warden, probably the most important operator, counter Canadian's utility. They have to be able to take that Warden down or find a different angle around him if they want to execute off of these Candelas.
They've been running drone ops on 5 of these 6 rounds to gain more information. It has been the undoing of Dark Zero as they look like they're playing a little bit too conservative with their defender forces. This is something they call out very wisely. Red after round number 2. It has not changed, but down goes Spoit and down goes Surf as well. A nice toss by NJR. Ambi is on the board. NJR will hit the deck. Newer's paying compliments there to Ambi as Rexon knows there's one behind that deployable shield. This is a good read for NJR. They've lost Keto to Canadian. Time for the Mayor to pop on up. He's got the Malusi right by his side. J90 will get Rexon in the cross. And it's Ambi and Canadian combining for 10 kills, trying to make something work. A small ego peek by J90, and that ego is well earned. It leaves Canadian all lonesome upstairs. Dark Zero hoping to salvage this first half with a 4-2. The 2, of course, is the best you're going to get. And frankly, it looks like we're screaming in that direction. Foltz will get the kill. Round number 1 ended with Canadian killing Foltz. Round number 6 ending with Foltz killing Canadian. A nice bookend to the first half, and it's a 4-2 lead for SR.
Nah, tell him, Jack.
Well, I don't understand what that was. But who's Troy? We were talking about that last round.
Oh,
the last guy.
Jehovah.
Oh, okay. I was confused. I didn't know what he was talking about.
Yeah.
On the stack side, Volker, quite frankly, right now I want to start out clearing these guys. I think foreshifting would be really cheesy. Let's just keep it more so standard. Like, obviously go on the fly with it, but like, let the fellas walk on a little bit, I think. That's what I'm thinking right here to start it out. Yeah. And quite frankly, too, off seeing what they started with right here, I think they prep for us. They're not probably going to do fucking AIDS bans for the Clash itself, so you don't really need to worry about that, I don't think. If they do, we can do what we talked about, but I don't think they're gonna do it. Just keep it pretty standard.
Yeah, I mean, we could just run the Thermite, Ace, Thatcher, get the Tools wall, get the Weed wall, and then we have the Ace for inner walls. Or do we need to do more in far off?
Just get creative here.
They gotta have the mirror.
Yeah. These guys, right now as well, you got those 2 rounds, like I guarantee you they're already starting to think about this map. They were so pumped up to play fucking Nighthaven today.
Yeah, we get this
Finally
first
got an
one, bro.
opportunity. You get this
Just
first one,
snowball.
well,
We just
might.
snowball it, bro. We just snowball it.
And if not, use it as a nice little
They're
warm
gonna start
That's
seeing
it.
points like 2
Oh, we got a
seconds
long
later.
guy. We got a long
Guys,
guy.
for basement, they have 2 attacks that we saw. They were both essentially clears. One was just a split, one was a full clear. For this, it's essentially going to be they can bring a shield through Fish, walk down with him like a sledge. Ace is going to open up the wall and then look to go Rafter. Deimos can go Mud, but he's Deimos, so he might float around in that area in general. Dokkaebi can go Lobby, or he can go 90 window, okay? So I think the biggest thing to just keep in mind there for basement is it is likely they are going to clear you. The other way they would clear is they flip the shield to Lobby with Ace. They'll bring like a striker above, like maybe Con side or the hatch. If he opens the wall, that is the guy who would go above, okay? And then Dokkaebi is going to go Fish side. So just be aware of that. For kitchen, they basically do a Hori. They'll bring the ram above. They like to put a Blackbeard or any kind of shield outside the 90 window, so they might double up there and have a shield and like...
Cool, calm, and collected. Those are the vibes being given off by Callout in that halftime, Parker, and it really did feel like they were taking this as kind of a unexpected victory. Getting just 2 rounds, they knew that SR were coming into this confident, and if they can shake them a little bit, if they can get a couple of these round wins, they think they got a chance to pull this one back, and Callout said it. Even if they don't win on Nighthaven, they didn't come into this series expecting to. They're treating it as a bit of a warm-up, so clearly they're confident on the side of DZ, immediately talking a bit about that clash. And as I'm seeing Nomad Capitao bands coming through, you know Canadian's going to be loving that operator.
Yeah, and I mean, the old saying, I've said it many, many times this event, you're never in danger until you lose at home. If SR drop this map and then, like almost every team before them, drop Chalet to probably the best Chalet team in the world at the moment.
Yep.
You go onto your map with your back against the wall, and then you need a reverse sweep to get out of that position. So obviously, Dark Zero trying to temper expectations, manage emotions. This is one of the best things that Callout does. He is as much a strategic coach as he's a mental coach.
Yes. Yeah, 2 of the best coaches in North America, no doubt here. We got the battle between Seth Hoffman versus Seth Mick. Battle of the Seths there at the Brain Trust from Dark Zero and Shopify Rebellion. They've been around the block. The best 2 coaches, domestic coaches, I think you could say, in North America over the last couple of years. There's no real debate about that one.
Zero attack.
We had lunch with Lagonis yesterday. How dare you say that about him?
Well, again, not domestic, right?
No,
Fabian's a
you
great
can't
coach
call
in
him
NA, but he's
insulting.
European. Lagonis is a great coach, but he's Brazilian. In terms of actual NA coaches.
Insult.
Okay, well, no enemy.
Jesse's just here to make enemies.
All right, all right.
That's all.
They hire me for my hot takes, Parker. That's what they always say, right?
I say that.
Yes.
I say that all the time. Both of these teams, statistically though, Jesse, better on attack. So expect Dark Zero to put up a bit more of a fight. That will be the thing to keep an eye on here, is how Dark Zero is able to start off his attack.
And I want to focus in on this clash once again. Callout specifically said he didn't think they would go for these bans that are anti-clash. He didn't expect the Nomad Capitao bans, but he said if they do ban those, just do what we talked about. I wasn't in the Dark Zero team meeting, unfortunately. I didn't quite make it to that one.
You might have lost the mail.
Yeah, unfortunately, the invite just didn't show up in time. But we'll get to see front and center what that looks like, what their counter to the clash is. It's always going to be awkward, though. Canadian is keeping this IT wall closed. The impact goes out first to stop that exothermic. And the last exothermic charge from NJR being placed on this wall, if this gets denied, this could be huge.
It doesn't look like it'll happen. No, it opens up.
Crisis averted.
Canadian walks back a little bit. Decent timing by Dark Zero now to get that wall open, and the jostling that Rebellion were doing will fall short. Didn't even really see the Thatcher be that much of a contributor to that. I think a lot of teams are expecting the Nitro cell out there, and you can blast it with that EMP. Kind of hard to do that with Impact. It's pretty much impossible. So,
Yeah.
oh, a vault in. That Nitro Cell don't miss. Rex in the leadoff pick, and now it's Kino disoriented over by Fish, completely blinded. The Snake now getting chased on down. Multiple players, but they're menaced by Canadian. Canadian didn't get either of those picks, but he is responsible for at least one of them. Now it's DZ on their back foot. They were able to close the gap with that final round in the first half. Typically, we see teams win this and close it to just a single round. Dark Zero, if they're going to do that, they've got some serious work to be done in the final minute.
Feels like things have not gone to plan here on the side of DZ. Now at a two-man disadvantage. They're still getting caught out by these gas pipes. It's going to slow things down even further. They're hoping for a swing to come through, but it's unlikely that anybody will bite on J90 holding that E-box window. Newers up the fish stairs, hoping for a bit of a sneaky frag. They don't know he's here.
Is he going to hit? Yeah, I'm a little worried.
Now the dread mine's up, though. They're going to hear him if he starts to walk through.
It's been activated. The Snake of Newers now making his presence known, shooting through the wall. Dark Zero stalling out entirely, Jesse. 30 seconds have gone by, and there's been very limited movement. Newers existing over on this fish side of the map. He's done so for so long. He'll walk up, take dry engagements with the F2. You can easily kill multiple players. He misses the opportunity. Ambi with the takedown, Spoit on the board as well. And it's Ambi to give a flawless win in the first round of half two. The Rebellion 2 rounds away from winning their own map.
And that's a statement round win, Parker, as well. That breaks an 11-round streak where DZ have been flawless on their attacks. Back during FaZe Clan, they didn't lose a single attack through maps 2 and 3, and they won their final attack on map 1. So they had won their 11 previous attacking rounds. They will finally drop one here in the quarters, semis, and finals up against SR. That's a big moment to come through from the Rebellion. Again, you kind of talk about that clash. It was focused on by Call Out and Attack Timeout. They said they had a plan for it. I assume that was something to do with the Thatcher playing on the roof, but whatever the game plan was for Dark Zero, it was not able to come to fruition. SR very confident on that top floor site. Canadian will continue the clash as we move into round 8.
2 players on Rebellion have broken double digits already. Both Rexon and Ambi sitting on identical scorelines. 10 kills, 2 deaths, 1 assist. They are eating very well here in Salt Lake City. Now, I know that much of the conversation has been around 2 of the players on Rebellion, but they're not getting enough kills. But Jesse, there's only so many kills to go around. And right now they're being funneled into the 2 best aimers on Rebellion as of today. It is working out very effectively. Again, Dark Zero, their fraggers being overwhelmed and shut down, and there is just not enough in reserve to deal with here. Things could change. You like to say it. There's 2 halves of each map, but Dark Zero are running out of time.
Yeah, no doubt about that. DZ need to change the game plan a little bit. They've already burned their attack timeout back after round number 2, so they will have no more lifelines. Even if we do head into overtime, they won't get a chance to talk with Call It unless Super decides to call his tack timeout for SR, but he has no plans of doing any of the such because they're up 5-2. They're comfy, and as far as the storage bomb site goes, man, this is very similar to the last site.
And I was going to say, an added benefit of banning the Nomad in Capital, your Azami on Rafters can play so much freer as well. So it's not just a Harsh counter. It has a reverberation across this entire map. So Rebellion know that, and they're going to use that to very good effect.
And again, like some people might say, why don't you ban the Clash? Why don't you ban the Azami? But you really just can't on Nighthaven Labs. The wall denial is too important. Bandit and Kaid are so powerful to keep these walls closed, and teams just do not like to play up against that. Very common bans coming out here. Oh, Ambi. Oh,
you know Jalen's feeling good when he decides to go for an ego peek on the IT wall.
Ooh, and then he just zapped the drone, so they won't know he's there.
That's the 11th kill for Rexon. Down goes Newers. The mayor shut down. It's Ambi and Rexon again. The Ambi and Rexon show. We go round and round and round, and again, Dark Zero suffering through this.
11 and 11 on the kills, make a wish. It's SR who have been dominating now throughout this map. They are so close to map point. They just need to find 3 more frags, and Canadian will continue to make this more difficult. Surf with Warner Aquino, and it's just J90 and False to hold it down.
If this continues through this series, this might be a quick one for the Rebellion. DZ not looking like themselves. A Hail Mary through the wall. J90 will find Ambi. Could kickstart some offense that DZ is so desperate to find. Still 1 minute to go. The Clash still on the board. 2 gas canisters in pockets. Foltz taking some damage there, but his position also given away. Dark Zero, with the exception of that lone pick by J90, is coming up empty-handed. They might be able to get Spoit now trapped into the corner. J90 will test his reflexes, expecting follow-up. The jiggle peek with the deagle out. Spoit doesn't really need to do anything. They can call somebody in to assist.
They're terrified. I mean, it's just Spoit with a deagle, but they don't know what's coming next. Good damage into Canadian, but not quite enough. Gets knocked back with the can there, but it's not still enough to get the frag.
HP low on the side of Rebellion. I mean, he's still got to favor them in this altercation as Dark Zero are dragging this one out. They're waiting as long as possible, and they're just going to die at the hands of the Rebellion. J9O's last man standing, 4 targets to find, 4 on the board, and it's Surf to drown him in Labs. Map 1, we're on map point. SR is powering through this.
This has been a quick one. The Rebellion dominating on their own pick. And again, I really like the team play that we're seeing out of Shopify Rebellion, Parker. It feels like they're working so in sync in a lot of these rounds. You saw it on their attack. They were slow a lot of those rounds. They weren't getting into really early gunfights, but they were still able to work together when they did go for those picks. I thought Canadian was so critical in the clash here in this round, really protecting his teammates as they tried to get back to site. This is brutal. They literally had him on the Bees, Parker. They had a suspicion of where he was, but still Ambi gets away with a frag. Again, Canadian is able to kind of block them as they rotate back down through the lounge hatch. False had a really good angle on the window, but it didn't matter with the clash blocking that rotate back to site. So it just feels like SR, everything is going to plan.
Could you say bees on the bees?
Bees on the bees.
Bees on the bees. Rexon pointing to his headset, by the way. If you don't know the history behind Rexon, he is completely deaf in one ear, so he plays with sound in only a single ear. If they're coming from that direction, maybe he doesn't hear them, so
yeah,
a bit of a minor handicap, but with the scoreline that Rexon has right now, you would never know it. Outfragging Ambi, as Ambi is still, Jesse, in pursuit of the record that you said set by Solotov in Copenhagen. We checked multiple times. If anybody wants to correct us, we went directly to Ubisoft because we found a couple different numbers, and they were all over the place. So we did some actual math ourselves, landed at 203, confirmed by Ubisoft. If this scoreline repeats itself on Chalet and maybe another map, I just don't think there's enough runway for Ambi to land that. But if we go deep into map 5, there's an entire possibility we see a new record set.
Poor Ambi. 3 O's too quickly and doesn't get his kill record. What a shame.
Guys, couldn't we have lost at least one so I could have gotten it? Like, come on.
Well, both he and Rexon have been dominant so far through this first map, Parker. Rexon, again, has been incredible. He's been positive or even for the last 8 straight maps. What a consistent player he has been for SR. This whole team has been gelling all weekend long throughout this tournament. They started all the way back in phase 1. They had to fight through tooth and nail just to get to the Swiss phase. They had to fight through that as well just to get to the playoffs. And now, after an incredible run, they have the ability to do something magical, win their first ever finals as a team. It could be a big moment for them. Basement here, 2 minutes remaining, Parker. All of the roamers have more or less fallen back.
I hate to harp on the numbers here for Dark Zero, but nobody positive right now as Fultz suffers through an impact that was likely intended for the Boogie drone. Finds him instead. Not a lot of damage done, but still something that you have to consider moving forward. NJR holding that defuse kit means that even if Fultz was on low HP, it's not going to be the one planting the case. So you don't need to worry about any errant nitro cells impacts, anything along those lines. Kino now asserting himself as he hits one of those proxy alarms. Dark Zero up top on the main floor, looking to isolate these roamers from the Rebellion, and so far, they haven't really been able to do that.
Oh, Rexon, they might know he's here. They definitely will now as a shield spots him out. The impact goes forward. Kino takes a bit of damage from that, but doesn't get the shield break, so no early kill coming out. What a shot. Rexon traded out, but how does he even get one there? That's insane.
And good value from the Dogoby's already been had, so not the end of the world that J9O is in the ground. Kino on the follow-up is the best that you can hope for in that situation. Dark Zero now have to outmaneuver this Rebellion team for the final 50 seconds, or else that's curtains. And we go over to Shell.
We got a Nitro being played by Surf, 3 toxic bays from Canadian. The first one just gets used here inside of Exo, so that's going to be a little bit of time denial, but the clock really isn't here for Dark Zero. They need to rush through and cause some chaos. This plan is unlikely to be successful.
And Spoit knows exactly where this push is coming from. He's far enough back, and you know how he's been shooting over the course of this event. Very quiet, because he's been playing a sheltered role here on this map, but he can still do some serious damage. I'm looking at Kino and NJR here, though. If they fail this one, if Canadian is unable to succeed, that just might be the ballgame. But hold on, Ambi's tucked into the corner. They don't know. Canadian waiting it out. Kino with one, NJR the other. A great entry by Dark Zero. 2 remaining from the Rebellion with only 10 seconds to go. Spoit trying to find some targets. He'll do just that. Surf gets another. It's all up to Newers, but Spoit sends us to map 2. SR with the statement game to start off our grand finals.
Doesn't get much better than that. What a domination from SR. Every single player playing their role, doing what they needed to go up early in this series. They expected to win on Nighthaven, and they delivered.
If SR shows up like that throughout the course of this grand final, it might be a quick one. We'll be back with map 2 in just a couple minutes.
Swag on that map. It's looking pretty good right now. What's working well for you guys?
I mean, besides like the energy, just coming in, doing what we've been doing normally. So like, obviously coming into this, we had to go through phase 1, 2, and now 3. Just believing in each other and like trusting the system that we have. Just, you know, playing to win is mainly been our motto, not playing to lose. So, you know, whether it's 6-2 or it's like 6-7, intentional, just pretty much playing to win every single round.
Bolts, it sounded like during that halftime break, you guys were saying it's a long series, it's going to be fine. Any concerns now that you've lost the first map?
No, I mean, I think they played super well that first map, but at the end of the day, that is their map pick, and I think they're very comfortable on that. But yeah, like I said, it's their map pick, and it's going to be a long day, so I'm just going to try to tell my team, you know, don't get too caught up on that map. You know, just let's get fired up for next map, and that's it.
Good luck.
As Fultz said there, it is a long day ahead, but we are now one step closer to finding out who our champions will be here in Salt Lake City. Shopify Rebellion Lax rocking and rolling on Labs.
Yeah, I mean, you heard Rex, and he said it's the belief system. That's what I was talking about going into this series, and we got a couple rounds to display that belief system. I mean, I've already talked about SR. We need to see these explosive attacks, and their attacking half was next to none. It was absolutely beautiful. They were controlling the tempo. They were controlling the movement from the side of Dark Zero, but that's the problem with playing a domestic matchup, is if you're on the side of Dark Zero, you can't really play unorthodox, because a team like the Rebellion is going to instantly identify when you're trying to do something cheesy. You can't get away with it like you did against FaZe, and again, they were looking so timid on their defense.
I mean, that's a very good way to put it. When you play an interregional matchup, they know your quirks. They know you're going to be bringing Glaz, you're going to be bringing shields, you're going to be bringing these X-Factor operators, and that's why SR was so good. They're prepared for it, and the reason why their attacks are so aggressive is the fact that they're able to set up so much information. We're talking about Ambi being able to do it day after day. Every single time, there's info all around to know what's going on in his blind spots. So he just needs to have that confidence to focus up. But for me, the standout player has to be Rexen. He has been so consistent. He's always that player that's in the shadows, doing his best, always on the back line. And when it came to this server, he was just situationally always in the right spot to pick up those picks for his teammates. And once he gets in that position, it's really hard to get him out.
Yeah, I mean, it absolutely has been, but that's the thing, you know, even in the bans, it looks like they were trying to get rid of Ambi's comfort, whether it was on the Snake, whether it was on, I mean, just a couple of the operators that they banned as a whole, but I mean, that's why we're highlighting Rexen, because any single player, especially given how well that they're playing in sync with one another, any one of these players can control the entire dynamic of a round.
They're going to obviously want to get this done in 3, but we go to Chalet next. It's DZ's pick. What do they need to do differently?
I mean, the thing is, Chalet is the map that we saw them beat FaZe on. It's one of those maps where it's a lot more aggressive. You're able to get very flexible. Those X-Factor operators are going to be a situational factor. I think the biggest thing, shutting down info. Really, when you look at SR, the main thing is their entry. They're getting those picks off of that info. If they shut that down, that's a good first step in the right direction for Dark Zero.
For me, I'm gonna focus on the mental aspect side of things. I mean, no one had a good performance in that series. Someone has to step up. When you're in these moments, it feels like your backs are against the wall. It has to come down to one individual on that team to have such a dramatic round for everyone to be able to get behind, rally behind, and feed off that and gain that momentum, especially into their map.
All right, guys. How great has this crowd been, by the way?
Amazing.
Amazing.
We cannot say it enough. And normally I'm out there talking to you guys a lot more, so I'm hoping that I can come and have a word with some of the fans here. Samuel, our incredible Steadicam operator, thank you very much. Let's have a chat with some fans down here. I think we've got some family. Tell me your name and who you're here to support.
My name's Margaret, and I'm Ambi's mom.
Give it up for Ambi's mom! And?
I'm Sheila, and I am Ambi's nana.
Ambi's nana and Sheila as well. And you, sir?
My name's Danny, and I'm Richie's brother.
Oh, love it. It's a family affair here. Are you feeling confident?
100%. What?
Are you feeling confident, Sheila?
Yes!
Sorry for just throwing a microphone in your face there, Sheila. Who else can we talk to? Are you guys a couple here? Oh, cute. Guys, do you mind if I just come in? Is that all right? Sorry to interrupt this lovely little setting here. Hi, mate. What's your name?
I'm Justin.
Hi, Justin. What's your name?
Chelsea.
Chelsea and Justin. Where are you here from?
Mississippi.
Mississippi. And who are you supporting?
Shopify Rebellion.
Can we make some noise here? I always love a siege couple. You guys come into a major together. How much do you love this game?
Oh, I love it.
Yeah?
I'm mostly moral support, but I'm here for the whole environment and all the energy, so.
We all need a partner like you. Look, we're live. Anything else you want to say while you're here?
Yes, sir.
Yeah?
Excellent.
Oh my God.
is crazy. Bro, this guy proposed at a Siege tournament. Fire. Bravo. Hey. I'm waiting at the gaming tournament? Let's go.
Can you two just come with me, just briefly?
No way! Bro.
Please, just come here. This is
That's sick.
an incredible moment that we're all witnessing here in Salt Lake City. Come and stand right here in front of the trophy.
Oh, this is
Salt Lake City, please make some noise for our brand new fiancés!
dreams come true, guys. Dreams come true.
How are you feeling?
I can't believe it. Oh my god.
I'm happy. I'm excited.
Congratulations to both of you. Go and take your seats and enjoy the rest of the show.
Let's go, SR.
Let's go, SR. Well, DZ are gonna look to fight back here, but Rainbow Six Siege has been full of incredible once-in-a-lifetime moments. Parker, Jesse, there's another one for you.
Yeah, it absolutely is. I mean, one of the few things that I think the crowd can agree upon today, as they have been going back and forth with their cheers for the two teams here. Congratulations, of course, a huge moment. And now with that, we turn our sights to Chalet, a dominant map for Dark Zero. Jesse, safe to say if they lose this, they are in serious trouble, and Shopify Rebellion enters up 1-0.
Yeah, there's no other way to cut it, Parker. Nighthaven Labs was a statement for the Rebellion. Chalet must be a statement for Dark Zero in return. They are 2-0 on this map this season, beating Wildcard and just 7-1ing FaZe Clan yesterday. One of the most dominant matches that we've seen here at the 6 Major so far. And for SR, they've got some 7-1 experience as well. Unfortunately, it wasn't quite beating FaZe Clan. It was more like losing to JJ Blast. So different sort of scenario.
Hold on a second, you're talking about Ballsack Nation.
Oh, of course I am, Barker. This has not been a good map for the Rebellion historically, but they would have known it was coming. They chose not to ban this map for a reason. They will have some strategies prepped to counter Dark Zero.
I mean, when you don't play Consulate, that's going to be your insta-ban. So SR know that Chalet is going to come through. The right call made by this Dark Zero team. Let's play Chalet early. If we flip a coin on Nighthaven Labs and we win, we are almost guaranteed to go up 2-0. This is a great place for this map for Dark Zero. And really, we're going to trip over ourselves here a few times on this cast to talk about just how good Dark Zero is.
Yeah.
Early signs that might be some concern for Dark Zero, though, Jesse. What are you going to be looking for in these first few rounds?
Well, Parker, I want to see some new stuff coming out from DZ. Obviously, they've shown this throughout kickoff. They played it a couple of times. They haven't, they've shown it against FaZe Clan as well. They haven't faltered ever really on this map, but they can't just rely on their old strategies. They're going to come through and they're going to start by banning the exact same operators they banned versus FaZe Clan, Snake and the Grim, and I think those are strong bans. There's no doubt about that. Snake in particular, again, an operator that plays a lot by Ambi here on Chalet. We've seen it every now and again from Rexon as well. But the Grim, not one that we see SR play a whole lot here, so it's going to be interesting to see what they want to respond with on the side of the Rebellion.
A really rough map stats-wise for the Rebellion. They are below 50% on both attack and defender win rates.
Yep.
So you are not expecting very much here from the Rebellion. And also, we can talk a little bit about the mental aspect of map number one. This DZ team, they're cool under pressure, Jesse. I do not expect them to falter after the shellacking that they took. Usually in a best of 5,
Yeah.
the first 2 maps really should be your strongest maps. It's what comes after that you need to be concerned with. So expect a mental reset from Dark Zero.
Yeah, they talked a big game, DZ did. We heard it from Call in the timeout. We heard it from Fault in that interview. They feel confident despite losing that first map, but now they've got to show up and showcase exactly why they're so confident. In comes the library push.
And they're looking for something early. Great crossfire from Dark Zero to shut down Ambi and Rexon. They amassed almost 25 kills back on map number 1, and they are just playing with their food on the side of Dark Zero here. A good jump out from Fultz as a flawless round will greet us on Chalet. Map 1 says, what?
That's the answer DZ needed. Through all of Nighthaven Labs, Fault's got just 2 frags, Parker, just 2 kills on map number 1 in round 1 of map 2. He breaks that stat. A nice triple for the captain of DZ, and that's exactly the confidence-inspiring round you want to see out of Dark Zero. That's exactly the statement we were waiting to hear out of this team. Shopify Rebellion, of course, trying to clear through that map, trying to get in through the top floor, through library side. They just weren't able to find the angles they wanted to. Fault's so tricky here on the Thorn SMG, jumping out the building, firing down the stairs. The 3K from the captain is so confidence-inspiring.
Bolt said it's going to be a long day. We've said the same. Our desk has said the same. You should be buckled up for what I imagine will be a bumpy ride as we look to crown a Salt Lake City major champion. I'm very glad that the crowd obviously is something to cheer for now after that blowout in map number 1. Well, I'm looking at these numbers, Jesse, and I'm kind of expecting something similar here, right? SR are objectively better on attack on this map. So if they cannot at least muster 2, maybe 3 rounds, things are probably not going to improve when they swap sides, because frankly, I have about the same win rate defending Chalet at this event as they do.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, even for Dark Zero, that stat remains true. They won every single one of their attacks on this map versus FaZe Clan yesterday, so we know how dominant they can be on the offensive side here on Chalet. We wanted a statement map to come through from Dark Zero. It's still early, right? We're 1 round deep into this second map, so you don't start ringing the alarm bells just yet from SR. But even if this map does spiral, I think if you're Seth, if you're Super, you gotta kind of do the same thing that Call It was doing and say, we don't expect to win this map. It's a best of 5. It's a long series. If you can win your first opponent's pick, that's a huge boon for you in the series, but it's never something you walk in expecting to accomplish.
No, and when you look at this map pool, Bank, Cafe, and Lair, things get a bit more even from here on out. So you start off strong, you win your maps, you get some motivation, you set yourself up very effectively for the final 3 maps. NJR having some tech issues at the moment. He was very briefly told he was a naughty boy. When he tried to talk to Kino, you're not allowed to do that when there are tech pauses. These rules instituted for a variety of reasons. We are having a full lobby rehost right now, so we're still about a couple seconds, maybe a minute or so, out from getting back into the lobby.
NJR, of course, a critical player to have online in these rounds. He was the only player to come close to positive back on round number 1. 6 and 7 KD, -1 through the first map of this series.
Sorry, what was his KD?
Don't say it, Parker.
What was his KD?
For the love of God, just move on.
So how many kills?
6 kills.
How many deaths?
7 deaths.
That's 6-7.
All right. He's also been the highest rated player at this event so far.
Let the people let it marinate. Let the people enjoy it. You gotta let that steep.
They're sick of it too, old man.
They just cheered.
Okay, a couple of
I bet you if you were to fire up the Rainbow Six Twitch chat right now, you would see 6-7 dominate.
I feel like you're behind the times a little bit, Parker. I hate to call you out like that.
Twitch.tv/Rainbow. Oh, well, would you look at that?
NJR enters this match with a 125 EPS. Again, that is front runner for MVP of the Salt Lake City Major. He has been their best player all stage long, really. He's been such a dominant performer for them. Even going back to his time on Dark Zero when they were winning the Charlotte Major, he is far exceeding his stats from that previous event. It's a long time ago, but even after such an incredible career, NJR seems to just now be peaking as a player.
Yeah, I mean, he was kind of on that DZ roster that suffered through an awful lot, but I think NJR's abilities were never really doubted, I think you could say. I think the identity of that team was tricky to really pin down. I mean, they went through different leadership, they brought in some different players. Like, just think about the amount of personnel changes Dark Zero went through, and then they decided, let's just throw the baby out with the bathwater. All of it is gone, and they said, let's bring in some different players. We'll build around NJR, we'll bring in 3 guys from Space Station, we'll add Kino, who had some contractual issues with M80. It was not a team decision for him to step off of that roster. And they've looked mighty good, and it's the best that they've looked in 4 years. And they found their first finals berth with this new roster.
Yeah, it's crazy how fast the success has come from Dark Zero, but of course there's still work to be done, and as we load back into map number 2, that work will resume. NJR, I mean, you said it, he's been on this roster for over 5 years. That's an eternity in terms of esports. Vault for a long time with the longest standing player on a single organization inside of North America, but that has changed as he moves from SSG over towards DZ this season. So lots of legacy, lots of history with these players. There are no strangers to the big light, to the main stage, but only one can come out on top. Now again, Dark Zero, early lead on this second map, Parker, but they need a lot more than that.
There really is a lot of history inside of this grand finals, and more history will be written irrespective of which of these teams win. This is just the third NA versus NA matchup in official Ubisoft circuits. Canadians team has won all of them up to this point. Dark Zero won one of them when Canadian was on that squad, but only one of those teams will ultimately hoist this trophy. Dark Zero up 1-0 on their map. We are expecting DZ to kind of do the same thing to SR that SR did to DZ on map number 1. This is just such a good map, but Rebellion could still shock them.
Slow start for the Rebellion, Parker. This is exactly how they like to attack on Nighthaven Labs as well, and this will be a trend throughout this series. They're not going to be rushing into the building and getting these early gunfights. They're happy to take their time. Their drone game was so good on Nighthaven Labs that it can be good once again here on Chalet, playing on the outside window angles. Of course, they didn't ban out that Azami, but it's not being played by Dark Zero. Instead, it was the Castle Band to come through from SR, and it makes things a little bit more awkward with all of these windows staying upright. Surf jumping in the building.
Surf manages to live a little bit longer than we might have expected. Rexon was looking for a cross on that upside down rappel. Only J90 will move now as out goes a grenade from Surf. Its target manages to evade it for now, but he gets Newers on the run. Surf misses a golden opportunity. He's in the middle of the site, Jesse.
Yeah, it doesn't have defuse kit, so can't plant, but that's still massive. Now, keep in mind, top floor control is so important for this bomb site. Even with SR in control of the site, it's not favorable for them just yet. DZ have so many players up above the bomb site who can deny the plants if they start for it. But again, Canadians still outside the building, so it will be a little bit still before we see a defuse kit hit the ground.
Drone work was a really key component of the Rebellion's attacks on Nighthaven Labs. They have not let off the gas here whatsoever. There were shields absent as well from the attacks of the Rebellion. So far on Chalet, shield play not as important. Canadian running Twitch, an operator he knows very well. Surf makes up for lost time, gunning down Fultz. You referenced Fultz's contributions in the first round. They will not come to pass now as there's 40 seconds left. Surf has not been pushed out of the bomb site at all, Jesse. He's still in there lingering.
But neither team sees much value in holding site control if you don't have positions up above. That's why Canadian pushes up the solar stairs, forced back by the smoke, and will have to go for a plant.
It might seem simple. Walk in, plant the diffuser, but that upstairs pressure from Dark Zero, too strong. Kino taking down Rexon, and now a jump out as J90 gets one. Spoit trades him back immediately. Surf calling for help inside the site. Canadian, where are you in the cavalry? Surf shredding everybody. There goes the defuse kit. It's a 2v2 with plenty of time left, but Dark Zero's inability to flush out the top floor will lose them the round. Spoit dies in the hands of NJR, but it was all over before that kill comes in. DZ off to a 2-0 start.
Discipline on the DZ side of things, Parker. Really solid defense, not panicking when they lose that site about halfway through the round, feeling confident that as long as they hold above, as long as they hold below, they're comfortable.
You guys hear me?
Not starting with the tone either.
Okay, listen. One, let's reset. We don't need any, like, going back and forth. It's fine, all right? What I want to say to you guys is we have so many gaps here, but we have to be reactive to the gaps we have. We can't just sit there for 2 minutes trying to figure out what to do. If Dame is applying pressure site there, we need to do something to apply pressure elsewhere, okay? We can't just sit around waiting for something to happen. I want us to continue to clear traps. If we see them, clear util and spread the map on them. They're reactive and you're getting gaps, okay? We need to, if we see a gap, guys, we have to be reactive to actually get to the gap or to help it. We can't sit there while one guy's fighting the whole team and everybody else is doing nothing. Together on the same page. If you have the gap, everybody go together.
Left side of your screen there, you can see what the audience is up to during the attack timeout. They're getting active, they're showing their support for their favorite teams, but I think some important words being said by Super in that timeout, Parker. Just deciding that there are not really reactions coming out from the Rebellion. They are creating pressure, they're creating gaps. There are ways for SR to work their way into the site, but they're not doing things in a lot of these moments. How long were we watching, whether it was Rexon hold an angle on the solar window, whether it was Ambi holding the angle down those snow stairs? It always felt like there was something in SR just sitting and waiting for a response. DZ have been too disciplined for that style of play. SR have to get reactive to find those gaps and capitalize on them.
And I think it's fair to say Chalet is a bit of a reactive map as well. Big difference between Nighthaven Labs and Chalet. Chalet is smaller. It feels smaller, at times very claustrophobic. Look at how much map control Surf was able to take, but he never got the top floor away from Dark Zero. What does that do? It means you have to fear the windows. It means you have to fear the jump ins. It means you have to fear top floor control. There's just so many things to account for because at any moment, on a map like Chalet, fighting can break out. Now, obviously, that's true of every single map, but it is especially so on maps like Border, it is especially so on maps like Chalet. And if you can see good discipline from Dark Zero, and then they strike based off of poor information or poor entry from the Rebellion, they will eat you alive, and that's what we've seen through 2 rounds so far from DZ's defenses.
Well, for our third site, Parker, Bard Games is the choice, and Shopify Rebellion will bring this sends execute strategy. They ran this back during 100 Thieves early in the kickoff, and you can see Dark Zero wanting to maybe capitalize on it a little bit. They are happy to get aggressive. False has found a couple of big moments outside the building on this map, but doesn't find anything early on this round. Again, SR, we know exactly what their pushes like to come through. Sometimes they'll go direct in through the window. When you've got Canadian on the sends, that is an option for you. Andy already inside a piano too. This is, or library, I should say. This is really early control from the Rebellion. It's not being held by DZ.
I mean, maybe they want to pick up the pace a little bit and knock this Dark Zero entrenched style of defense off guard. Back onto Twitch they will go. A very incredibly valuable operator on this lineup. Rexon throws himself in. J9O is Jack's mannequin. Shredded as there goes Rexon. Nikito on a beautiful refrag. Great opportunity from Dark Zero, and still so calm even when things go bad.
Yeah, still, we're seeing SR get a little bit more active. They're trying to find these gaps and exploit them, but there are refrags coming out from DZ. 4v4 now. Spoit just inside of Mudroom, has to jump on back. We've got control of the basement. They've got control of library. They have quite a bit of map control that DZ chose not to hold on to. They never really contested these parts of the map, so it's going to be on DZ to either flank and go for a retake of these positions, or potentially even just concede them and then stop this execute when it comes through.
And they were surveying the perimeter. As you saw that Denari tripwire established around Bar, the Solus of Fultz will hit the deck as both teams kill 1 apiece. Neither able to shake each other for the moment. Ambi holding that defuse kit. Kills not coming as easily for Rebellion here on this map. They might be changing that now as they take the lead on round number 3. Fultz will be harassed by that death mark, leaving Newers as the X Factor, and he finds 1, but he loses the duel. Surf takes care of him, and Fultz is on the run now over by Backbar. Still being hunted down, his whereabouts known by Ambi. 3 players will search for him. Sploit gets the job done, and the Rebellion are on the board.
How good has Surf been throughout this contest so far, Parker? Feels like he's always in the right position to find a bit of a gap to get things started on the side of the Rebellion, and it finally pays off in a round win for them now. Played 3 different operators so far through Chalet, played Dokkaebi, Deimos, and the Ace, and that's expected to come through from Surf. He's played more different operators than any other player at the Salt Lake City Major, 46 different ops across the first, second, and third phase here at the Major. So he's such a thorn in your side at all times. They will ban out the Ace, of course, one of those 3 operators that he played just recently, so clearly feeling a bit of pressure with how good he's been. But even still, he will have such a wide arsenal to go through these next 3 rounds on the attack. Shopify Rebellion, again, did a really good job of finding some of those gaps and taking the space that was given to them. Again, Rexon's able to walk into lobby for free. Ambi's able to walk into library completely for free. Like, they're getting a lot of this space, and because DZ aren't contesting it, it makes it almost easy for SR to start colliding with these kills, to rack them up one after another.
I mean, Chalet giveth and Chalet taketh away. That's really how it works, right? True. If you can drone them out and put them into unfavorable positions, through the floors, through the walls, if you bring operators like Lion, like Dokkaebi, like Snake, like Deimos, a Ying, even shields are terrific on this map for roam clearing, you are in such a good position. Obviously, Rebellion have been eschewing the shields, Jesse. It is a bit abnormal. I know that we've been talking a lot about Canadian playing these shield operators, whether it be Blackbeard as part of their arsenal or Blitz and Monty being far more common. Dark Zero has not needed to bring out a shield ban against SR on either of these maps.
Yeah, it's really surprising. Coming into this, 46% of attacking rounds saw Canadian bring a shield, but now through 2 maps, he's only done it once on the attacking side. That was Monty to kick off Chalet, and now as they return to that same bomb site, he won't even look to repeat. He's going to be jumping right onto the Ying, so it's clear that SR are not so reliant on Canadian playing those shields. He's still, again, maybe not the biggest contributor in the frag department, but that's okay. He's able to call, he's able to use this utility and find space for his teammates to get some picks.
Well, back to the bomb site that started off this affair, and it was a flawless win for Dark Zero as they patrolled all of the main arteries of this map, especially that top floor. Rebellion were hoping for some early picks, if you recall, looking to carry the momentum that they earned in map number 1 onwards. It obviously did not end up happening. Then it was won flawlessly by DZ. Very little that we saw from DZ that looked bad, and hey, history's repeating itself. J9O and Fultz with the 2 opening picks. 2 minutes still to go. Rebellion already knocked a stride as the two tips of the spear in the previous map right now combined for a single kill. Rexen and Ambi in the ground.
Yeah, so good. Again, this used to be a support duo back on SSG, Fault and J9O, but they've played a much more active role since combining their forces with NJR and Kino, and it's really been paying off. These guys have incredible gun skill, and especially when they're playing together, that chemistry that's been established over years of playing on SSG has been so big for them.
Everybody getting active now. NJR with another pick for Dark Zero. DZ just have 2 more to find, and they will go right back to the lead that they had prior to the start of round number 3. Spoit and Canadian often coupled together. Canadian gunned down by Fultz. Fultz having a sensational game so far. 6 picks for the captain, as it could very well be another a 4K from Fultz to give us a flawless round. SR will not get a single kill on this top floor bomb site.
That is a bomb site to forget if you're a Rebellion fan, no doubt about it. The good news for SR fans in the crowd is that they will not have to attack it until overtime if we get there. But Fault, the captain of DZ, 7 kills across the 2 times they played that map. Absolutely ridiculous. And again, it's coordination alongside J9O. Fault is moving a lot on these defenses. He started upstairs kind of with Jack up in like library, like a small office there, but then walks down those blue stairs for the first frag, goes back down in towards Mudroom. He's always in a different position, and he's so difficult to clear out. Even that final frag with the C4, he only gets it because J9O is causing some problems. He's causing that player inside of library to stall out, and it's that team play that is so big for Dark Zero.
Well, they've still been droning well in Rebellion, but they haven't been finding the information that they need, and it is hurting them at the moment. Again, the scoreline on map number 1, 7-2 for the Rebellion. It is widely considered to be their best map. Now we go to Chalet. Dark Zero have a golden opportunity to actually beat that scoreline if this keeps going. A 7-1 is very much possible because the Rebellion, again, their defender win rate on this map is horrific, Jess. So, if you are not able to put 2-3 rounds on the board here in the first half, the fear is that's curtains, and we turn our sights towards Bank as map number 3 with both of these teams winning their best picks.
SR chose to ban the Kaid after round number 3, Parker, and it wasn't enough that DZ brought really for the first quarter, but it's still so powerful, especially on this kitchen bomb site, because you can keep that top wall closed inside of office, you can keep the wall closed inside of fireplace as well. Like, there's a lot of good places for those flaws. Expecting a bit of a different defense, Dark Zero will not oblige. They bring much a similar lineup as they did previously, with Newers lurking around that mid-floor, going for a bit of a cheeky play, but it's the blitz that's in early.
Canadian back on that shield. Down goes Fultz, but they trade it so well. Surf dies elsewhere. Twitch drone off the board. Could be somewhat integral for this defender lineup of Dark Zero. Rexen gets NJR as the mayor goes for a peek. He'll be back in office next week. Advantage for Rebellion now as this action is broken out very early on. We still have yet to hit the 1-minute mark.
A strangely aggressive swing from NJR. You don't see him making risks like that too often, but he does get hard punished there on the top floor by Rexen with the DMR, so really nice to counter that pressure from SR. This is a bomb site they struggled with through the first quarter, but they've had a good answer so far.
J9O plugging holes, trying to waste time. Canadian now on the hunt, dancing around the gas. That's an embarrassing loss as Kino shuts him down. Nade lands in his lap. He dances around it, throws the gas to buy himself some time. Kino's also been able to get case control as there goes the other nade, and Kino is still surviving. This is incredible. Newers there for the assist. Dark Zero is everywhere all at once. A third nade, and Ambi will get the follow-up. Finally, they dig Kino out of this position.
And even after all that time waste, SR still have a pretty good number on the clock, Parker. Over 60 seconds still in this round. They can work with this 2v2 lead. Of course, they've got lots of information. The Lion and Deimos coming through. You're out of Lion scans, but even still, you can get some really good intel on these last couple of players. You have not quite full top control. J9O is up here, but you've got to be so careful if you're going for a plant.
Oh, and he's got the read on it. Jack seeing through those holes down below. This top floor was the main impediment for Rebellion last time. Surf sat down inside of this bomb site. The previous attempt. They don't have him now. They've got Ambi and Rexen to try to bail themselves out of this position. They were terrific on map number 1. They have not shown up the way that SR has needed them. There's a fall off for Rexen with 30 seconds to go. That looked like it might have been a mistake. Maybe he wanted the late flank. A double drop on in now as J9O will hit onto that death mark. He'll find himself the mute jammer. Rexen picked off by Newers. It was a 4K from Fultz in the previous round. J9O will say, you settle for 3, pal. The round goes in favor of Dark Zero. My goodness, they are demolishing the Rebellion.
What a bounce back. Such a strong round from DZ, top to bottom. Parker, again in that 2v2, I get a little bit worried because the Deimos tracks are there for SR, but Dark Zero, they are never really predictable. Right when they start to send a player up towards the top floor on the side of the Rebellion, DZ drop that hatch, they retake the site control. Brilliant shots being hit by both Newers and J9O in that 2v2. Some big moments coming out to clutch that one up. And of course, Kino, you have to highlight his play in that round. Phenomenal on the smoke. Often thought of as one of the best SAS players in the entire world. He believes in that shotgun more than almost anybody else. And his time delay right here on the stairs, I mean, this was crazy. The fact that he doesn't get blind by the blitz there is insane. And then he just uses that to completely dominate the rest of the round. All of SR's attack has to turn their focus onto Kino, and he just makes them pay so much.
I mean, that is a tough position if you're not coordinating very well on Library Stairs. I mean, those grenades had no real follow-up other than the blitz, and I mean, that's a good bet, right? You drop an anvil on his head, you've got the blitz there in tow. Usually that's enough. That was not the case. And Kino is able to survive far longer than anybody thought he would. I mean, what Kino did wasn't particularly flashy, and we're not going to really remember that round for kills on his part, but we talk about impact versus impactless kills. That is a very high impact kill from Kino, and it just about doomed the round for Rebellion, irrespective of Newers and J9O's follow-up. That's a tough spot to be in, and now the Rebellion are going to have to do the exact same thing that Dark Zero did. Win the final round of this first half and hope to stem the bleeding.
Only the second round that Canadians played a shield again. We're going to keep tracking that stat. Both times now he has lost. Once on the Monty, once on the Blitz. So keep an eye out if he does try to move back over towards that strategy. Is it something that DZ are just too strong at countering so far? That seems like what it is. For now, though, they'll put him on the Ying and they'll start to go once again for this bar game site. It's a similar defense from Dark Zero. They're again not holding inside of Library. They've reinforced the hatch and they've instead chosen to extend throughout that mid-floor. Couple players up in sort of office too. Newers, the main culprit here, 5-1, holding the window as well. Can really get some cheeky plays, especially with J9O backing him up.
Canadian held off the scoreboard so far. He's been in more kill positions than usual, Jesse. He's just not unable, or he's been unable to hit these marks. Oh my goodness, that's a nasty one. When Newer starts to do stuff like that, you've got to be scared. He certainly has the potential to dominate a game. Down goes Fultz, down goes NJR. A good 1-2 punch from the Rebellion. Half the round still to go. J9O on the board as down goes Spoit. Canadian getting defused, gets the halfway. Where is the coverage? Trying to get to the site, shut down by the Rebellion. And now it's all up to Kino. AMB freezes him out of the bomb site. 4-2, the half for DZ. They do what they need to do here on Chalet.
Yeah. Joe was probably gonna try to play the fucking Flash. Flash, yeah, I mean, it really does not fucking matter on Snap, quite frankly. Yeah. And then for the third ban, Volker, just, like, if we want to start, like, increasing the pace and moving on these guys, we go for a Thorn, too.
Yeah.
I don't think we're gonna need them. And then if it does go back to overtime right there, again, like that, you guys are doing really good the entire deep step, just right there at the very end. As soon as we float away from, like, the fucking spot, like, they just ISO'd us again. We forgot that we banned the ice, like, they can't open that sock wall, keep fine. Most people aren't gonna bring fucking EVs for that. Just keep playing them.
Or they have to do that, so they
Yeah,
don't know anything else there.
Now we can do a little Shelly attack though, fellas.
Yeah, it's gonna be proper.
Oh, that'd be really proper, Junior. If you drone front door, you see one trap, another Avenite.
A nice display of art.
I mean, I'll do it.
Nice display of art.
I won't.
I don't think you will. Ooh, Nick Jr. on the rock.
I'm gonna do it with
And then
the door.
Volker too, quite frankly as well, like the massive, if you see like a really heavy extension, and maybe they have stuff for the ISO setup, like they're doing like the, like a 50 cell scheme where they have like the games area, fire, like dude playing like Ivy side office and like
It's
soul
going
area.
to be slant. Kino is always going to be on a shield, so here he'll probably be Monty. For that attack, he looked to go library double. Fultz likes to go games window, and basically they want to just clear over. Deimos is just going to sit under in kitchen while they're clearing, okay? So Deimos will be like kitchen side under, and they're trying to go for the clear. What they will do, this is what we need to understand, is that I need us to hold our zones and fight. Do not over rotate, because if you give something up, like in their match yesterday, FaZe backed up and gave them solar. They left one person there and they flipped the entire tank, so they had none of the map, okay? We need to fight these guys, okay? We're running a lot of traps. If you notice on the strats, I want us to make sure that we're using those traps to try to track so that we can help where we need to and understand where shit's cleared so we understand where they could be. Okay?
Is that Rainbows?
No.
So Snake and
Snake and
Blackbeard.
Snake
Snake
and
and
Blackbeard. Or BD. Blackbeard. Okay? That means
Listening to Super over these last couple of games, Parker, has been one of my favorite parts of the Salt Lake City Major. The experience that and knowledge that he brings into those timeouts is so incredible. Always talking about the strats that they're expecting to see from their opponents, and then a little bit just going into their own strats, wanting to play a lot of shield or wanting to play a lot of traps, expecting some shields out of Kino, and then maybe trying to take some space as well. Aware of what happened in that FaZe Clan game earlier for Dark Zero as well. So really nice coaching coming out from both players, but particularly Super coming in once more. This guy was pro back in Rainbow Six Vegas, Parker. He dipped his toes into Pro Siege when he was on Arrow, when he was on Rogue. Had to kind of start over in Sonics. I remember casting him back in Challenger League Season 9. He has been really grinding with this team. Finally brought them up to Tier 1, brought them to many different events, swapped over to coach, and now finally stands on a major final stage.
Mr. 1.6, as that was his KD for a short period of time, many moons ago, the pillar of the community, he himself. A large streamer, but, you know, he's been a little busy lately, not able to co-stream as reliably because he is back in action, and I mean, that hard work has paid off. You can talk about his mechanical ability, but his mind for the game has never been questioned. And I mean, you say the same for Canadian. You've got two of the biggest brains on the same side of the stage. But as we always say with good coaches, you can coach a team, but you can't play for all 5 players. And it is really a team affair.
Well, we didn't quite get to catch the first couple of bans that Dark Zero were hoping for, but clearly it's been Castle Mira, very similar to what we saw being banned out by SR. They did say after those first 3 rounds, they might want to ban out a Thorn, depending on what SR are playing. Super himself said that our strats have a ton of traps, so that Thorn very likely going to be that ban after round number 9. But for now, it stays open. Spoit will jump on the operator, and the clear will start from Dark Zero. Bomb site over towards Master. It's going to be on that top floor site. You can see clearly Dark Zero wanting to take this library side before anything gets too crazy.
And they're very quick to the punch here. 45 seconds chasing down the Denari. Kino gets Ambi, bites off more than he can chew. Spoit has his teammates back. Down goes Rexen. Ambi and Rexen having a tough one. There goes Spoit as well. If you read into the numbers and you think the Rebellion really are as underwater on these defensive numbers, then you can just go in quickly and overwhelm them. If that was the plan for Dark Zero, it's working out very effectively. Canadian yet to find a kill. He will have to turn that around as Dark Zero have made this easy. Oh my God! One of the most dominant rounds so far in this series, and DZ are now 2 away from taking their own map.
Let me tell you, Parker, defending versus DZ on Chalet is not something I would wish on my worst enemy, and certainly for SR.
For me?
Well, yeah, I wouldn't even wish it for you.
Thank you.
No problem, buddy. 5-2 now on the scoreboard, and it really does look like an explosive execute. You see the difference in pace between Dark Zero and SR. It took Rebellion a long time to get in the building and get those opening picks. You said it, 50 seconds deep, and Kino gets that opening frag then in onto Ambi. At the same time, NJR did a great jump in. He actually vaulted in the mezzanine window with the Glaz to be able to get a smoke pick onto Rexen halfway through there. So some shenanigans on the Glaz. DC, a very deep strap book on this map, and they showcase it early on Chalet.
I mean, at this point, you do have to wonder if you just mentally move on to the next map. I mean, you heard exactly what was said by Callout and Fultz about map number 1. Hey, we were maybe hoping to knock them off stride on Nighthaven Labs. It did not happen. So now we turn our sights to Chalet, and we are still in a very comfortable position.
Yeah. If I can get some copium to the SR fans, that round was what they were expecting. They expected Kino on a shield. They brought some traps to deny that shield play. It still beat them. It was still a difficult proposition. But they at least know that what they were expecting is what they're going to get against this Dark Zero team. Now, there's no shield being brought for round number 8, but even still, SR have a game plan to counter this Dark Zero attack. Putting that plan into practice is often very difficult, but they should still know what their plan is through these next couple of rounds. They won't be completely shook by that first defense.
What a turnaround it's been from Dark Zero on the kills component as well. They were really struggling on map number 1. I think it was, you said, NJR the closest to going positive on that team.
Yep.
Kino, the only player with a negative KD at the moment for Dark Zero. I mean, the scoreline should suggest that, but just because you're even in round count doesn't mean the kills are going to be coming your way. This is a rough spot to be in for Rexen, looking to not be the first casualty here in a very critical round for the Rebellion. They flushed him out of this chimney spot. He's now gonna have to tuck into the alcove here in Library, as that's where the assault from Dark Zero will come. Logic Bomb's following up on that Capitao arrow. This is a bit of a rough one right now as Fultz guns down. Rexen hits him with the good night in all chat. Dark Zero got the start that they wanted here on round number 8.
What do you do as a response for the Rebellion? You've got to find some way to make a play, but you're being flashed out of your current positions. No swing from Spoit. He can sit just inside the mezzanine for now. They haven't really applied that pressure that they're looking to, but the players on Dark Zero are all around this map. They've got Kino inside of Kitchen. They've got NJR inside of Solar. This position that Spoit has will not just be a one-dimensional push for long.
I mean, at least the gadgets from Rexen will still persist. Spoit has taken up spot in that same area Rexen was playing in, a very critical part of this map, but he's punished by J90. DZ hunting SR for sport at this point. A slower round, but Dark Zero looked just as methodical as they did the time before. That calls upon the 3 remaining players from Rebellion with a minute to go to coalesce around this bomb site. Can they do it, Jesse?
They've still got 2 toxic babes from Surf. They've got some good plant denial to play around. They really need to get aggressive. That's why you see Canadian all the way over towards Basement Hall. Newers finds Ambi. The aggressive moves aren't paying off, and now it's a 2v5.
And it's Surf and Canadian yet again. Canadian still searching for that first kill. They will call upon him as well as Surf does double duty. Watching and Freezer as a nade drops in his lap. He just manages to inch away from it as the toxic gas goes out. Canadian outdueled, and there goes Surf. Another flawless round as Dark Zero moves to map points. Utter dominance here on Chalet from the team in purple.
We said they had to respond with a statement of their own, and Parker, it looks like they're doing just that. It was 7-2 for the Rebellion on map number 1, and now we are just 3 minutes away from another 7-2, but this time the sides are swapped. Dark Zero dominating their own map pick, just like we saw from the Rebellion. You gotta give credit to how well DZ were isolating these picks. It seemed like it was always like a 1v4, a 1v5 on all of these frags, especially early on the top floor. It just wasn't a team game from the Rebellion. They were being picked apart one by one as Dark Zero were able to work from multiple different angles. I said it earlier, but players in Kitchen, players in Piano, players outside of the Library windows too. I mean, it just felt like all the angles that DZ could be in, they were in. Makes it incredibly oppressive to play against, and SR will need to be flawless for the next 4 if they want overtime.
Well, I mean, I don't envy Fox and Laxing's job after that one. What do you pick up on? Do you pick up on the intel game? Do you pick up on the trades? Do you pick up on the map control?
Yeah.
Do you pick up on the utility play? Because there really has been no downside to this Dark Zero Chalet. They have dominated the Rebellion on both sides of this map. As we expected, the numbers show just how weak the Rebellion are on defense. Dark Zero are exploiting that, and they are doing a perfect job reading into this.
And how good is Falkman as well? 10-4 here on their second map. He was the lowest rated player on DZ back through map number 1, but he's answered big time here on their own pick. It's just his second ever career event. He won the 6th Invitational. It has taken 19 straight events since to make it back to a grand finals, but Fultz has done just that here against Rebellion. You know he's not gonna let this moment pass.
Amazingly, I remember when Fultz was on that old Challenger League team with Merc and the like, and I was patiently waiting for the debut at a tier 1 level, and now Fultz is seen as the elder by a lot of players. I am so old, Jesse, and so too is Fultz as he captains this team and gives tons of valuable experience to the rest of these players.
He was playing against Super down in Challenger League back in the days when he was on OC and Super was on Elephant Gang. It was the good old days down in tier 2, let me tell you.
This one could be over quickly if Dark Zero snaps their fingers and rushes into the site. They've already got utility pushing these Rebellion players into their waiting arms. Logic bombs go off, Bees as well, landing in the lap of Canadian as through the smoke. Kino will now hunt for something. Make a misstep in the Rebellion's round, could go up in smoke. J90 punishing Spoit. Nobody on the Rebellion able to put up much of a fight on this second half at all. Halfway point, still damage being done. There goes Surf. Canadian taking serious damage. This one just might be over already, and we've still got a minute and a half to go.
What do you do from SR? You have to be able to find a way to battle back, but at this point, map 3 just seems like it is looming in the wings. J90 already a single kill from outside the building. Why not another? Finds Canadian on a rotation, and Ambi and Rexen are left with it all to do.
Could it be another flawless round? Would this really be it? A 4th flawless round for DZ? Rexen says no. Down goes Kino, unable to stop the defuse kit, and the drop will not be had. The mayor shuts them down. They dog walk SR on their own map, and we will go to bank all tied up.
Go to a best of 3 in Salt Lake City. That's exactly what these two teams expected. Dominant performances on their own map picks. Now things will start to get really tight.
Obviously not the outcome you wanted on the second map. What are you going to have to fix going into map 3?
I just think resetting. I said the same thing to you in the interview yesterday. It's a best of 5. I mean, we won handily on our pick. They won handily on their pick. That's honestly the way a series is expected to go. Obviously, you want to make it tougher than that, but hey, it is what it is. We knew this, we knew this series has potential to go the distance. It could be close. Now we're to the real meat of it, I guess. But yeah, good maps for us coming up. Just reset and play our game. Nothing to worry about.
Kino, you destroyed the world champs on Chalet. You now take down SR on the same map. What is it about this team that works really well on Chalet?
I don't know. Maybe our Chalet is just good. I didn't know, but apparently it's good.
And you guys are feeling good? How are overall things feeling on the team right now?
It's good. We know it's going to be a long day, the best of 5. And we're here for the run. First map, our energy was not there. We were not there at all. And this map was better, so we'll see what happens.
Thanks, Kino.
Indeed, the energy is there now. As Fultz said after map 1, he knew that his roster had what it takes to reset, rebalance, and cook on Chalet and Fox. That's exactly what they did.
That's what they did. It's hilarious hearing Kino say, I didn't know we were good at that, because after yesterday's match against FaZe, I hyped up the guys. I said, congratulations. You took FaZe to Chalet and beat them. And the first thing you knew or said was, well, yeah, it's our best map.
Yeah, and I said, going into this series, we need players to come alive, and that absolutely delivered. Fultz with a big 3K in round 4. This is what was needed, and then to push it past, going into the next round. We talk about Roam, we talk about being able to delay time. Kino did such a good job playing Ivy here, not only eliminating that shield, because when you look at the time, you look at the man advantage, he swings it back into an even deficit, but if he didn't get rid of Troy here, that then falls into a 4v2, and that blitz would have been so oppressive into the round, but they end up cleaning up shop, and they get this round going in their favor.
Dude, Kino is such a rat. I swear, only he can do it in these situations, to be able to stall so much time. But that's the strength of Dark Zero. I mean, we talked about it. Going to a map like Chalet, it's a lot smaller, a lot more gritty. You can play from outside the windows. Taking space fast is the key. Dark Zero does that. They're able to consume so many areas of the map, get in there, force SR to make a decision, make a play, and at the end of the day, Dark Zero came out on top. They look so dominant, and I'm glad you brought up Fultz, because what a better way to lead your team by example after losing map 1 is to be the top fragger, consistently there for map 2.
I'd argue Canadians leading by example as well. We've seen him and his team does extremely well, so you can't count him out regardless, but I think Troy said it best. This is how a series should look. You win your map, they win their map, you reset going into the next.
Troy, the boy, said himself, Lax, that he is ready for this to potentially go the distance. If it is going to, it all comes down to this next map to see who gets the next advantage. We're going to Bank next. How are we feeling?
I mean, Bank's one of those maps. We just saw DZ play on it against FaZe. They look extremely strong. They're very aggressive. Again, a lot of the cheese offs. That's what we saw. Glaz,
that's where the
Blitz,
success came
BB,
from.
that's the success. That's something SR showed that they were ready for on map 1. It's going to be the biggest question on, can Dark Zero be able to adjust without those operators?
I mean, they've both clearly shown that they're good at this map.
Yes.
Now, for me, however, I'm going to be looking at from an attacker side of things. When you look at the 2 spearheads of both teams that are going to be entering, we saw Ambi. That's when he dropped the big numbers. He dropped the 21. Then you even saw Newers doing almost the exact same thing. Not in the high kill deficit, but he was opening up these rounds. So I'm really looking at these entry fraggers to find their mark, open up these rounds, and then let the rest be able to walk into the site and go for these executes.
Big picture, when you look at things overall, it feels a little bit neck and neck right now, and that is why we're expecting this to be a potentially long series. But if you had to say who's got the advantage right now, who's playing the best?
It comes down to the entry game, but I think Dark Zero's got the better teamwork right now.
I'm going to have to argue, and I'm going to have to go against you and say Shopify Velen is still looking good.
Lax, what's that?
What's that sound? You feel that? Wait, I think we're being hacked.
Oh my god!
Wait, it's gonna blow up! Listen, I'm saving myself.
Fox, are you good?
I don't think
what
so.
What just happened? Anyway, one thing that's for sure, we need to get back into this
Absolutely!
final. We're getting back to Jesse and Parker, guys. Kick it off on Bank.
Well, thank you very much. I gotta say, I think killing an analyst is a first for our esport, but I mean, hey, sorry, Fox, I guess you're the one who drew the short straw here.
That's honestly on me. I thought I'd give him a little bit of a call, say, hey guys, your analyst I guess doing great. I guess it popped up the Doke thing. It wasn't meant to be such an explosive call.
My Korean's a little bit rusty, but isn't Doke something about an imp? Jesse, you are a little impish as a human being, so I mean, it does make an awful lot of sense. You might want to lay low, though. They are looking for you. You're wanted for murder.
All right, well, hopefully Fox can put himself back together for the second analyst segment after this map. But for now, Parker, we've got to load into Bank. And some would tell you that we're already 40% of the way through this grand final, but I would argue it is just getting started. The way these best of 5 goes, you get ban, pick, ban, and then only 3 maps remain. While this is technically going to be the pick of Shopify Rebellion, both of these teams banned maps out, and so we got just 3 maps left in the pool. So we expect both teams to be very comfortable on all 3 of these next maps.
Absolutely, and I think we're gonna have a pretty good show of this. As you said before, Chalet was fully over. It's a best of 3 now. The advantages are gone. It just comes down to map pool. So buckle up. Sit tight, go maybe get some beverages. It's, Salt Lake, get a little thirsty. Salt probably doesn't help. Make sure you, grab some soda. That's all the rage here. And prepare yourself for Bank, as one of these teams will move to series point with a victory here on Bank. And then it really just comes down to, does that same team carry Cafe for a 3-1 victory?
And Parker, it's not every day you see a Tachanka ban in Rainbow Six Siege, but that is respect being shown to one man and one man only. NJR is without a doubt the best Tachanka player in the world. It's his most played defensive operator here at the Salt Lake City Major. He has a 64% win rate across all maps when playing that operator. He is so good when it comes to shooting those fires. So SR say, let's just get rid of it. We'd rather deal with him on the smoke. He'll be playing a very similar position, starting in elevators and then backing off to play the site with those toxic babes to waste some time. But keep an eye on NJR. If he does struggle a little bit, losing that LMG and losing that primary gadget could be part of the reason why.
This is a massive map. There will be lots of isolated engagements occurring on all portions of these bomb sites, whether it be the top floor, whether it be the basement, which is where we are looking right now for round number 1. Expect there to be quite a bit of pugilism as these teams will come to blows. One of the things that really benefited Shopify Rebellion back in map number 1 was their drone work. That will be even more important here on this map. If SR are incapable of using intel correctly, they will be at a disadvantage. And dare I say it, Jesse, the team that uses intel best probably will be the team that ends up winning this map.
Yeah, and of course, Ambi and Spoid are going to be 2 intel operators that we typically see. Ambi over at the IQ, so changing things up a little bit. Usually we'd see him on the Snake for this bomb site, but not unusual to see that IQ instead. Of course, we'll come through to counter that Echo, so lots of utilities still being countered out. This really is not an aggressive hold from Dark Zero. They're happy to sit inside the bomb site. We started with Newers inside of open area. We started with NJR inside the elevators, but all of them had hatches that they were able to quickly drop back down to site, so not a surprise to see this one start so slow, but it'll really come down to the execute of the Rebellion. They've got the Hibana. All the hatches should be open with no problem, but you're looking at this site and you're seeing yokai cams, you're seeing C4s, you're seeing toxic babes. There's so much utility in the site, so you've got to start with some man advantage, and that is not what they wanted.
Well, you say Kino's a good SAS operator. They've passed one of those 2 over to Jack, and the first pick here on Bank will come in his hands. Kino now on the run as Canadian was breathing down his neck. It's been about 40 minutes since Canadian was able to get a kill again. Not integral for the Rebellion that Canadian gets some frags, especially on this map, where he's going to be playing a lot more shields than we saw on maps 1 and 2. They've got a yokai cam on him. Canadian is in a very vulnerable position, and this might be a great kill opportunity for Dark Zero.
Yeah, they were able to EMP the yokai, but Kino doesn't care. Hits the head of Canadian instead and finds that body shot frag. Now it's a 2-man lead.
Newers has to survey the hatch above his head, but was also looking over towards blue stairs, and maybe a bit of a step back for this DZ defense as they will reposition Echo's drone. Nade goes in, Kino flushed out of that position, right into the arms of Rexen. Good coordination. Rebellion still trailing numbers, 30 seconds to go. There goes the yokai drone in that same position. So integral to give information to Dark Zero. They will be flying a bit blind, but J9O will go for a full flank. What damage can he do? Rebellion have their hands full. Ambi takes down Newers. They're boxed out of the bomb site. Rexen holding the defuse kit. A surprise looms for this Rebellion team as they will incur some damage. J9O still on the hatch. Dark Zero not letting up after Chalet. They open Bank with a successful defense.
I theorized that maybe the Tachanka ban would set NJR back a bit, but he is better than that. Plays so well on the smoke there, Parker. You saw him delaying that plant for so long. They didn't really get to start it until there was maybe 5 seconds left in that round. Hit some beauty out of the 11 shots to close that one out too. Of course, you start with this 2-man lead coming out from these extended players, J9O and Kino, but even beyond that, it felt like a perfect round from Dark Zero, where the early game went their way. They didn't lose anybody on that very small roam. They came down to the final seconds. I mean, 5 seconds is not going to be enough for SR to make an X heat go through. Certainly not with a flank on the top floor. Certainly not in a 2-man disadvantage.
Well, I mean, you just got to mentally reset again. When it comes to experience, we worried the Dark Zero maybe had a bit of jitters on that very first map. Obviously, they shook it off for Chalet. Business as usual. Both of these teams slugging on their favored turf, winning 7-2. Now we go back to SR's map pick, and things get a bit more usual here on Bank, Jesse. Typically, you're going to start on the weak side. That means DZ wants to defend on this map. That gives us a good idea of what the goal is for the Rebellion. The Rebellion, they probably want to win 2-3 rounds, but that is the high water mark for this map on their side.
Yeah, I would say honestly with these two teams, like, Bank maybe slightly leans defender-sided, but these two teams are both very good at attacking, so you really think 3-3 or 4-2 in either direction is fine, and I would expect that. If we get to a 5-1, okay, the panic alarms start to ring, but DZ with their primary bomb site, that shouldn't be alarm bells just yet for Rebellion fans. They'll get a second opportunity when round 4 comes through, but of course for the second round, we will move upstairs. This is where DZ likes to try to defend with a little bit more presence. They've got Fault back on this Echo, who can try to use this information to enable some early picks coming the way of DZ. But SR, look at this lineup they brought as well. The Rara from Rexen, the Glaz from Spoit, Canadian on the Ying. This could be a really messy execute when they do get down to it. Not that I think it'll come so soon.
And that New Zealand operator is saw a bit more play after some changes during the mid-season, but the pick rate has fallen off. On maps like Cafe and Bank, way more opportunity to isolate these defenders, and that's exactly what Rexen will do outside. 2 of those gates have gone, trying to box in these players. Ambi, the first kill, Full Dancer's backstorm on the board as well. Shield in the hands of Service. There's NJR and J9O, and they've turned this round on its head. A very quick entry for the Rebellion. We're not even at the halfway point, and it's been rebuffed by Dark Zero.
Surf's entry was excellent, but his whole team fell around, and that's going to be the big problem. Now they're in a man disadvantage. Nice find. Surf just flicks around and finds the head of Fault. Evens things back out 2-2, and Rexen and Surf are in a really good position. The Fuse Kit is inside the site, so it should be easy to recover.
Oh, 6 kills between NJR and J9O, the 3-letter duo on this team, holding down the bomb site. They'll have to retrieve the diffuser on the side of the Rebellion. They have plenty of time to do that. An early action has now made way for this ceasefire between the teams, as there's Rexen now planting the diffuse kit. Worried about over towards Paper. That's NJR waiting in the wings. Rexen will have to rely entirely on Surf, but J9O is an unknown variable. And there he is, Rexen trusting Surf, that trust seemingly misplaced. Blackbeard will have to put the shield and the team on his back, as both NJR and J9O immortal up to this point. 40 seconds to see if Surf can break that trend. Now behind the desk with the case down, shield on his back. NJR swings around, buying time. Off the diffuse kit, Surf will go. Finds the Thorn, good information, giving time for J9O to reposition, but he doesn't want to. He's holding this cross. The moment that he attempts to defuse, they fall in, then they fall out. Quite a rhythm here now as Surf will attempt it for the 4th time. Up against a hard wall, he manages to get it down, and they crossfire it perfectly. J9O gets the kill, an easy counter disable, and Dark Zero continuing their reign of terror.
NJR and J9O have for years been thought of as so clutch, and it'll force attack time out of SR.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, with this Echo, guys, we need to be running Dokkaebi. Okay? They're using that for the info to get aggressive on us. If you notice, they're playing very bunkered and just waiting for us, and they're acting up the Echo. I think we can third ban that. If we do third ban that, I would expect maybe a Mira, Clash, or both, okay?
I think we just do the mute, because we have all the ops for it, and the
Okay, that's fine. But if
they
we
could
want
be in Doke, but
that's fine, Troy. But if we want to do that, I think we need to be running Doke for the rest of this game.
Yeah.
Guys, thing here is, again, they're playing bunker, they're looking to retreat, or they're just standing their ground waiting for us to push in across it. So we need to make sure that we are establishing what we need, like that last round. The whole take is based off Will walking Glass main lobby. We have Ash, we didn't clear the VP. Make sure we're helping each other and calling what we need to do, okay?
Okay.
let's go, boys.
Sounds good.
Okay, guys,
Come on.
A lot of that timeout focused in on the Echo, which has been played so well by the captain of DZ. False has been really running this operator to great success, and Super said it. They've been using this Yokai drone to get aggressive, to force some early frags, to favor the defense on the side of Dark Zero. And again, if you can get things messy on the side of DZ, that is always going to favor you because they have some of the best late round players in the entire world. Fans have been asking for years of what it would look like to see NJR and J90 on the same team. When it comes to late round clutch players, there are almost nobody in the world who are as good as those two. So you put them in a 2v2 situation and they're going to be favorites every day of the week. I thought they played that 2v2 so perfectly. Parker, of course, never giving up a free pick. Even in the 2v1, they only went for the swing when they were both there together. They didn't give up any opportunities to equalize that man cap to a 1v1, and that's that late round consistency that we've expected from Dark Zero throughout this tournament, and is showing up again here in the finals.
When you've got Canadian in a matchup, he's going to eat up a lot of the air when it comes to leadership and the conversation around it. But I feel like we're doing a bit of a disservice to not highlight how good and how critical these comms are for Dark Zero. They are always in control. Even when they're losing, it still looks like they have an idea and the right way about tackling a problem. On Chalet, it was immediately evident. On Bank, it's becoming even clearer. This is a team that is really trusting each other, and that last round showed how perfect it can be when you've got two players on the exact same wavelength.
One thing Super wanted to see was he said, if we're not going to be banning the Echo, we need to run Dokkaebi for the rest of this match. That's why Ambi's immediately jumped on this operator. Usually on this bomb site, you'll see him either on the Snake or even the Nook. He likes a little bit of sneaky Nook play on this bomb site, but is forced to go over to the Dokkaebi. Now, there is no Echo being played by Dark Zero, but you just can't risk that anymore if you're SR.
And it's going to be a quick one. They take control of Square. There goes the buck of Spoit marching in. Spoit has been very quiet so far today. They will need a big game for him. Surf on the board. Canadian outdueled another from the Glass of Surf. Powering this team forward. Ambi and Rexen were the star of the show. There's Spoit now for another. Rebellion have two more bodies to find. Shotgun versus shotgun. You don't usually see the Skeleton Key out winning against that SAS shotgun. Now it's Newers on the run. Half of the round to go, right to the arms of Ambi. A big bounce back round from Shopify Rebellion to get on the board.
Really nice push there to clear through the top floor, Parker. What I like about that push is you've got the short range and the long range working together. From all the way back at the top of Square, it was Surf on the Glass, was finding those long range picks. He was doing some really good work, trading out Canadian after he went down and finding that opening pick. And then Spoit, the other S player on Shopify Rebellion, able to just run in with the Skeleton Key, get a couple of crazy picks in the midst of that push as well. You mentioned it briefly in that moment, Parker. The pace being set by SR is really nice to see. Again, they didn't have great pace coming through that first couple of rounds. That's largely due to the bomb site. It's really hard to have a fast-paced push when they're defending on the basements and they're not going for a roam game. But if you let SR take control of the game in the early moments, I mean, that can be where they thrive. Dark Zero, one of the best late-round teams in the entire world. But if SR can get more of these early fights, that could start to favor them.
Of course, let's also not overstate what we saw from the Rebellion there. That is the tertiary site for a lot of teams.
Of course.
You've got the basement and you've got the top floor as your two reliable places. So as we saw back in map 1, as we saw in map 2, a 4-2 scoreline at this point is looking most likely. And again, knowing what we know of the map, knowing what we know of the teams on the starting sides, Dark Zero and Shopify Rebellion are setting us up perfectly for that when the second half arrives.
Yeah, I would say this game is still neck and neck. Even if DZ win this bottom floor bomb site, I still feel like it's pretty neck and neck because SR will have those opportunities to bounce back on the secondary and tertiary bomb sites through rounds 5 and 6. But even still, the dominance of that third round has to be applauded on the side of SR. Once again, they will not choose to ban out the Echo. This is something that Troy said during that timeout. He said, I'd rather ban the Mute because we've got the tools to deal with the Echo. The Mute is something that we don't have as many tools to play with, so they will continue to run this Dokkaebi. It will probably not be swapped off for the rest of this half, but now with the Mute not on board, they can start to play a little bit more aggressive. The Habana can start to be a little bit more effective with these long-range hard breaches coming through too, so good tools from the Rebellion. And again, Parker, we have a relatively passive hold playing by Dark Zero. Newers and Faults maybe a little aggressive on that mid floor. Newers just inside a cafeteria to start things off, so there might be a moment where they want to get aggro, but always got to be so worried when you try to roam on this map. It can be really difficult to survive with your life.
Spoit is in a position where, if they are not aware of this, he could cause some real chaos amongst the ranks of Dark Zero. Still waiting for Ambi and Rexon to devour these games. We mentioned that if things go all to plan for SR, Ambi could break the kill record at the Major. That is still possible, but he has very much fallen off since game number 1. I mean, all of the Rebellion has. Frankly, it's not unique to just Ambi. Oh my goodness. No way.
It's a floor below.
I know.
Okay. This is tricky with Snake sometimes.
I have eyes. I'm aware. Thank you.
Sees the retreat, and that's just going to be the reset coming out from Dark Zero. They don't want to fight again early on that roam game. It was a little bit more aggressive than I think back in round number 1, just with Faults and Newers' positions, but fall back towards the site. And now Kino kind of becomes that first line of defense. He's been playing those server stairs, and when he's on the shotgun, I said it earlier, Parker, one of the best SAS players in the entire world. He can be so difficult to root out from that position.
And it was J9O on the mute who contested that part earlier. Obviously, with the mute ban, they've had to change things up on the way that Dark Zero guards this important avenue to the bomb site. Blue is one of the most hotly contested parts of Bank when the bottom floor is under watch. They struggle to get Kino out on Chalet in an area that is the exact same name. And oh boy, they might just be struggling again. Kino's got the stack up for 2 kills on top of Blue. He will dig one grave. Ambi and Rexon are down there. Spoit finally getting Fultz. Canadians only got 2 kills in this entire series. He's hoping to go higher than that. The fire will not really move Kino out of this position. It will buy some time as now they loop around. Final 30 seconds here, and there's a lot of work to be done for the Rebellion.
They got to give it up. This is a pivot. It's been too difficult to clear Kino, so they all head in through the back, but they're not finding the kills.
The old dog can still learn new tricks. Canadian in a 1v2 with 15 seconds to go. He'll have to get Surf back up. This is a decision made by Rebellion. Running out of time. Kino and J9O now just waiting ever so patiently. Canadian flattened by Jack, and he gets them both. Basement, very familiar territory for Dark Zero. They're up 3-1.
Nice try by the Rebellion to try to pull that one back. Unfortunately, as you said, Parker, that bottom floor site just way too strong. Kino, no doubt the MVP, clutching up on those stairs. He is so important in that position. So difficult to try to clear out from that spot. Was playing it on the Warden back in round number 1. He loves those blue stairs and will continue to be one of the best in the world in that position. I like the, again, attempt coming back from Canadian. The call there to try to pivot away from those stairs after you throw the Capital Bolt. It almost fakes like you are still trying to clear it. These 2 kills so beautiful from Kino, but then you completely pivot. You try to hit the back. They actually were racking up the kills with Canadian finding a big one there and Surf 2 with the SMG, but ultimately J9O so clean. How many times do I gotta say it? Him and NJR have been insane in the late round.
Absolutely, NJR, one of the best nail box operators and players. It's a term that is used quite frequently by our good friend Mint, who joined us for a TriCast on Friday. Mailbox, meaning cut, cross. A lot of people used to refer to it as canine, a spot just where you sit there and you hold an angle. That's it. Don't do much else. It's a very important spot. It can be towards the bomb site. It can be looking at the bomb site. It could be on flank watch. It really depends on the map of the bomb site and the numbers as well.
So this is where the real test starts for SR. You're not expecting to win a whole lot of those first rounds on Bank, but now you're getting a second look at that secondary bomb site, and you'll go to the third bomb site after this as well. What worries me, Parker, is in that attack timeout, Super spent so long talking about the Echo, talking about how they were going to counter that operator. Dark Zero haven't run it since. They have not brought that operator back out, so it starts to be a little bit cautious. If you're SR and this doesn't go to plan, you no longer have that final tool to try to pull things back and get the momentum back in your favor. With the mute ban, they can likely open up that Canto wall with relative ease. J9O is playing that position, of course, with the bandit batteries, but they've got players all around these windows. They've got still lots of utility to try to flush these players out. And be downside of main lobby. There is nobody roaming below the site, but that doesn't mean there can't be somebody who flanks down late.
Setting traces thermal patch. Activating drone.
Break blast in case of emergency. Ash being brought out, an operator that a lot of old heads will be remembering fondly from the early fragging days. Ambi may be hoping to kickstart some offense. Now, Ash is more of a utility-based operator these days than she used to be. But I mean, if you need explosives, she's one of the best. What do you bring, Sophia? That's silly.
Well, it's good for the Azami, it's good for the castle in particular here on this site, so you do see a lot of util being used currently by Ambi, his 5th most played operator here at the Salt Lake City Major. 90 seconds deep and no real action coming through. SR have taken some good map control. They've got Surf over towards Square, and of course they've got that lobby control and control down below the bomb site, but they don't start finding picks, Parker. I'm worried about the late round again.
I mean, SR has been very slow on attack time and time again. Spoit gets dealt with by J90, the savior of the previous round, starting off strong. 10-1 for J90, by the way, quietly amassing an incredible amount of kills. There's Canadian to take care of Fultz in and amongst the smoke. Canadian will double his kill total at this point in time as Surf misses a golden opportunity to Kino, fixes his mistake. Rexon there for the follow-up. Canadian looking for defuse kit. Surf finds 2 and a team kill is one of them. Oh my goodness. J90 to the rescue, and suddenly things going really poorly for the Rebellion. Canadian in a 1v3. Under fire as he now turns to head back up to the bomb site. He's got a good idea. Does he have the aim? He's picking away, a tough shot to be made with this Reaper. I mean, one shot's all it really takes. Inside a conference room now, looking to hold a meeting for this team. Circles around and it's J90 again! 4-1 for Dark Zero. Chalet looking a lot like Bank, Bank looking a lot like Chalet. Jesse, I can't tell the difference between these two.
Oh, it's a massive round coming out from J90 from Oconomowoc, Wisconsin. He has been so big for this team and once again puts in the work in round number 5, just able to solidly shut down that push. And for Dark Zero, right, coming up against SR, it was a multi-dimensional push. You saw SR players coming from square, from below, up lobby stairs, and it kind of left Canadian very isolated. After you kill those window players and after Ambi dies right here, Canadian is all by himself walking up the lobby stairs. And sure, he wins his 1v1 versus Fault, but he's got no teammates to play with. He's got the defuse kit by himself. Even with site control, his teammates aren't able to play the objective to put the defuse kit on the ground. J90 12-1 here through 5 rounds on Bank. That is unbelievable.
J90 was the highest rated player on DZ towards the start of kickoff. I can't remember exactly what day it was, but Kino was at 1.2. Again, it just goes to show you the depth of this Dark Zero team. Anybody can step up when needed.
Yeah.
And I mean, the main criticism that we had was if NJR and Newers are not matching Rebellion blow for blow, is there enough from Dark Zero in the remaining 3 players? Well, Fultz had a terrific game on Chalet. Now it's J90 saving the day here on Bank. I don't even want to say saving the day. There's no danger for Dark. There's nothing to be saved at this current point in time. He's helping them punish this Rebellion. So it's those auxiliary players, those support players that are often criticized for not helping out that deserve all the praise on this Dark Zero team.
We need to see some bigger moments from SR. We are really approaching the must-win territory. If you go down 5-1 on attack when both of these teams favor the offensive side, you start to get very concerned with what the rest of this BO5 looks like. Rexon on 1 frag, of course, Canadian on 2 as well. I mentioned Rexon came into the series with 8 straight positive or even maps. Was positive on that first map as well, so that would extend his streak up to 9, but negative on that 7-2 loss, and negative now here today. They need something more.
Canadian off to the races. Ambi just behind him as the bullets go on through. The jig might be up there as out goes one of those F-Knots. Now a drop on down. Ambi surprised by NJR. The flank will now also put Canadian in a really tough spot as he shot through the wall. Newers out-dueling him. This is a great read by Dark Zero, and while every half has been 4-2, DZ have set themselves up so nicely for our first 5-1.
13 for J90, he's on the precipice of it, finds a player, but doesn't quite find him through the wall, will drop back down towards the site, so that top floor conceded now to the Rebellion, but this is still not a favorable position. Everything SR have tried has been perfectly countered by DZ. It's attempted a fast rush in through lobby from Canadian, but they immediately were behind him. Newers vaulted over the lobby, started to get those back shots straight into Canadian, and you start to get really scared at this point. They have to retreat to plan B, they have to clutch up a 3v5, and frankly, Parker, they're starting to stall a little bit.
Well, I mean, you lost your Blitz, you lost your Dokkaebi. This was a go for broke strategy, and broke seems to be on the menu for Rebellion at this point. I mean, how do you course correct? Diffuser is miles away from you. It likely is being watched by these Dark Zero players. It's in an adjoining part of the map. And hey, how about that? A backstab from Spoit. His position is given away by that F-Naught, but as long as they trade, Dark Zero will be in a beautiful spot to send this one away. Doubled up by the remaining Dark Zero players. Rebellion has their work cut out for them. There's Newers playing with impunity. Spoit will collect a kill on defaults. The only person able to find frags so far on this Rebellion round. I don't know if I like this position for Spoit one bit, especially since he's given his position away, heralding his rival to the bomb site. He'll pick up the defuse kit, twitching around but running out of time. Down goes Newers. All hope now rests on Spoit, but there's J9O again!
Dragging out a little bit, but we are not playing very well together. Oh man.
Holy shit, dude. Sorry. Listen, on the basement side, if we, fellas, detach, listen. On that basement side right there, if they fucking...
Alright.
What we talked about, we can do Junior on the Twitch, we can prioritize the light in file, you take your knock. In through the lobby side, like take your Twitch zone, throw it across the map, then go to the D-box side. If we need to kill the blue guy, Junior uses SNI, you can try to cross in that, but in general, Kino and Volker, if you see that, I want you guys to go fuck that guy on blue stairs and just go straight to success.
They have the...
Yep.
Okay, go back.
I'm gonna keep talking. Listen, on the if they're doing the anchor and they're doing their fucking blue stairs extension with the clash inside of server bulker, we're gonna take the Thatcher anyways. We can fuck that dude. Like you can take the yank paired with the Thatcher, and then we can literally just yank the shit out of him Thatcher so we can't clash shield. We can drop down and crank that guy. Just pop the main hatch first, because otherwise.
If caps up, can I just double cap him too?
I wonder what he thinks.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you
okay, just yank
about
me.
his
the only reason I was saying the yank is because we can also yank blue stairs out that as well. Like we can use a Thatcher or dogs. We can do both.
Yeah. Okay, I like that. I like that.
Yeah, just better. No, not. Yeah, it doesn't have to be on the yank. You could also take the shield if you want to go for like the Blackbeard plant, whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, whatever.
Let's really start to pop off here on defense, huh?
Guys, every
Thoughts?
attack I saw from them, they tried to finish server. Okay, so that's one thing we need to make sure. When the second time I saw them clear for that, the only change was that they went Grim to cap and IQ
really good at attack.
literally same exact execute positions, okay? So again, look out for that. Doesn't mean it's a guarantee, but if that's what we think we're setting up for, think about those positions, okay? For CEO, they do have a square take that they were doing with Glaz. Callie sits on the main lobby repels. They won't be able to do it really here with the Glaz. They can still try to maybe do it with the Ying. For that, he repelled in to just try to basically push. Nomad was top square. Thermite opened both the square walls. Fultz, like, literally sat outside stock, just flashing curve. They repelled in, and they just tried to play, like, basically to get aggro while they were planting behind, okay?
Sorry, was that on the last one?
Woof! Alright. Let's come alive.
Sled plays CEO repels.
When the going gets tough, that's when experience can make the difference. And there is nobody in NA more experienced than Shopify Rebellion's captain. He's won 2 hammers. He's won a major in the past in this very country. He knows what it takes to dig deep. He will have to channel that resilience. Down 5-1 now versus DZ.
All right.
Lots of strats being spoken by both Callout and Super.
All right.
Lots of words being exchanged between both really Callout and his players in that one, where he says, "Listen, I need to control the."
This would be a biblical comeback.
You guys a lot of ideas that I can put into your heads.
Make a little history.
Parker, there's no other way to cut it. Dark Zero enter this matchup as the best attack team in the tournament. They have been dominating, winning 68% of their attacking rounds for the tournament so far. They will need to be held to just 1 if SR want overtime here on map 3.
Yeah, a really staggering set of numbers for Dark Zero on this map and just in general. I mean, we expected this to be a close one. And map number 1 maybe gave some false confidence to the fans of Shopify Rebellion, but this DZ team has played without many weaknesses through much of this tournament.
Okay.
They stunned us all yesterday.
Let's start lat spreading on defense.
World champions. Very few people had them toppling FaZe Clan, and yet they were able to pull it off. It's a bit more of a heated rivalry between Rebellion and Twisted Minds to get to this point. But I mean, hey, DZ and SR, it's a great matchup on paper. We need SR to play better if we want
Ambi Rexon have been kind of shut down on bank here.
Because right now, Dark Zero are marching their way to another major championship on North American soil.
This round is going to tell us a lot about how this second half is going to go, Parker. Shopify Rebellion get to play the best site on the map. They get to go down towards the bottom floor. They have the most minimal amount of fans they're going to have on this bomb site. Throughout the rest of this series, they lose the tuber out, they lose the smoke. That's okay. They move Surf over to the Tachanka. I talk about NJR as the best Tachanka in the world. I still back that, but Surf is incredible on this operator as well. Very used to playing with the Shamika launcher, so we know how good he can be in this position. And Canadian back over to the flash. This was something we saw a lot from him over the last couple of maps. He's very confident here with this operator. Won't be taking any early gunfights, but can maybe shoot some drones, maybe cause some panic early on the side of TZ.
Okay, we got the intel. We got the info.
And help his teammates to slow down this round.
I know that we focused a lot on Canadians' kills, but the one person I want to touch on that needs to really step it up is Rexon. 13 kills at map number 1, 4 kills since. That is just not going to get the job done. And while our concerns about Dark Zero's fraggers were very real, I think we've messed up the teams here. Our concern about fragging is now on the side of the Rebellion.
Damage is damage.
There's a familiar spot for him when he's defending. He'll get knocked away by the taser of the Clash. Rexon menacing.
No, we can't do that. We can't.
Not the greatest gun in the game, Parker. Probably brought it for the rotates, but unfortunately it doesn't
That's
go
just,
exactly as he
that
wanted.
was
Playing
really
against
bad.
Kino.
Yikes.
Left without a teammate, but got the ball back and try to play closer to sight.
And Newers has a really good opportunity to jump on Spoit, as Canadian now needs to wander back. Dark Zero assembling their forces over here, and down goes Canadian. Waiting for the call. Spoit will likely slip up. Here they come. The cavalry has arrived. Dark Zero need a single kill, and they will
Yeah.
move to match point.
All right. Well, I mean,
Can you believe it?
you can't win if you can't at least get that early pick that was kind of free.
Parker, back-to-back maps now. They have gotten 3 rounds over the last nearly 2 hours playing versus DZ. This has been a disaster of a turn of events. The last couple rounds both felt like they had to be must-wins. They didn't win on their primary sites. Even with that opening pick going the way of Dark Zero, it felt like they had the control. It felt like they were still able to win through the 4v5, but what counters were coming out from Dark Zero? You saw them bash away that Clash, doing a great job to apply pressure to Canadian. This play from Kino, one of the best shield players in the entire world, and you gotta look at the Clash of Canadian maybe a little bit far back, maybe a little bit passive when he could have been up helping Rex at the top of those stairs, then just through the smokes. I mean, it's a massacre coming through towards the end here. Fault a couple of big kills to get to even in round number 7.
Okay.
13 and 1.
Overtime seems like a pipe dream. Can we just get something for a little momentum going into map 4? Just a little something, just a bit to put into our bellies. We are playing so afraid, and just we're not getting our kills anymore when we have some good opportunities.
Didn't look as strong, or so we thought.
Yeah.
Maybe they were just saving some of the gas in the tank for this exact moment, and the longer that this series has gone on, as longer that this event has gone on, Dark Zero has made steady improvements. And I mean, you'd be forgiven if you said this was DZ's map. This is SR's map. There is a high likelihood we go to Cafe with DZ sitting on Series 1.
How big do you think Fresh's smile is right now on his coach?
Oh, shut up.
Alright.
Jack was like, DZ.
Alright.
Obviously, when they struggled with Wildcard,
Panicking.
and when they beat FaZe yesterday, Jack just went back and like necro posted.
Okay, huge.
Well, they're not done yet. 6-1 is still something you can come back from. A Canadian will start us off strong. Shotgun frag right onto Newers. Shut him down now 4 and 6. Open area is the bomb site, but the top floor is always going to be a heavily contested area. Kino jumps in now. He's the one with the defuse kit. Still a couple Rebellion players up on this top floor. It's going to be Ambi and Rexon trying to hold this down. When do they drop?
Do they know?
The standoff now is Rexon's the intended target.
Good Nitro.
Also well, there goes Kino. Rebellion need anything to keep themselves in this series. 3 more kills will buy them some time. This team,
Perfect timing. Perfect timing.
around here on this defense as Ambi will find a kill of his own. J90 and NJR have made magic happen on this map, but not against the odds that they currently face.
If anybody would win a 2v5, it's these guys, Parker.
No.
Might be the start. They take Rexon down through the conference wall. J9O is secure. NJR following up on the flash.
We cannot throw this one. We cannot throw. If we throw this one, it's just super curtains. He's extremely low.
Holding over towards Archives.
There we go. All right, good. Good. All right. That's good for the mental. That's good for the brain. Even if we don't go to overtime there, that's at least good for the brain. Stims the bleeding.
Crisis averted. The two best clutch players in North America shut down in that 2v5. Thank God. The Rebellion, very much still a hill to climb, as you say, Parker. I mean, that attack from Dark Zero gets a little off balance early. Newers loses an isolated 1v1 close with the shotgun, and then really it's just a lack of information on the top floor. They did bring a Deimos for intel, but with him being the opening death, they had no Snake, they had no Dokkaebi, they had no real drone operators to go through and find those players, so it was always going to be a tough sell, clearing that top floor, top side of the map. Can they do it 5 times in a row? That's the question.
All right.
For most teams,
Let's get some more. Let's get some more. Let's get some more.
Don't forget that one timely clutch from the Rebellion yesterday propelled them to a 7 consecutive round victory.
That is true. We won 10 rounds straight from yesterday to today.
North American teams, and well, how lucky that your matchup in the grand finals is against another NA squad. Dark Zero have really shown very limited weaknesses on these last 2 maps. They expected to lose Nighthaven Labs. They lost it, all according to plan. Now, the Rebellion, they probably never expected to lose this bank matchup. They thought they would lose Chalet, sure, but now here, they are in trouble. Dark Zero made some small mistakes in that previous round, but I don't know, Jesse. I don't know if Dark Zero has it in them to fumble round after round after round after
Everyone has it in them to fumble.
Uncharacteristic of this DZ squad. No team's been more
Fumbling is part of human condition.
They've been so good when the moments have been the biggest. Now they'll have
Would love to see it. I would love to see them fumble.
Dark Zero.
I'd put a big old smile on my face.
Square around the windows as well. Dealing with the Azami is going to be a bit of a nightmare here. Spoit inside of stock, continue to close these angles, continue to shut down some of these window positions.
Just a little DPS out there, that's good.
It's not currently going to be a big contest, but DZ start to rotate to his position, and now Spoit's in an early fight.
Spoit using all those Kiva barriers very selfishly over towards the stock trading.
Nice, good shit, Spoit.
Really easy kill on Kino.
Oh, be careful in there.
This is great play by Spoit. Willie holding down the
Oh wow, that was good. That was fucking huge, actually. Colossal.
That kill will go untraded, and DZ will
Gargantuan.
reposition with just a little over half of the round to go.
Yeah, deciding that Spoit is just too good inside of stock. That's not a fight that they can commit to, so they're going to reposition elsewhere. They've still got good bodies outside the site windows. That's going to be where Newers is currently holding, and NGR brings the defuse kit this way. Those Kiva barriers inside of stock will not save you if these Candelas start making a mess of the bomb site.
And NJR's about to get
his
masters in
close.
Messology, Jesse, as out go the smokes. Candelas will follow up as well. The telltale sign. Bolt's looking for an opening. But
Perfect timing. Good shit, Spoit. We know, right? Yes, we do. Nice surf.
By the Rebellion's momentum. Now it's all left to J9O and Newers. Again, Jack always in these final moments here. Odds are a little bit better than the previous round, but still, you can't favor Dark Zero in this position.
We don't need to peek. We don't need to peek.
SR have a lot of time to waste down. J9O and Newers can start to play with
Oh, but we do anyway. Attaboy, Surf.
from the Rebellion. Newers in the 1v4. He'll have to double his kill count to win this round.
I feel a timeout coming by this Dark Zero team as they will almost certainly lose their second round in a row.
Good work. All right. All right, good. That's very good for the brain.
For Shopify Rebellion, the crowd favoring SR starting to get a bit more lively. All comebacks start with 1 round, and they've stitched 2 together. SR still showing signs of life on Bank.
Now we've got momentum in the SR camp. Attack
Well,
timeout.
that's the end of that, though.
Not being
I would not
called
be surprised
by
if.
call out. We're not in
Well,
dire
maybe
straits
it's
just
later,
yet.
after.
Gonna let them go through this this op ban phase at the very least. You're worried a little bit about just this pressure that is starting to apply to DZ. Of course, this is a team who have really with this core never really
all right.
the highest of heights. J9O struggled in some of his finals in the past, but that was a long time ago. Here's the attack.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, for the delay, if that's what we want to run, we need to be careful of the Thatcher. It's going, if we run the Echo, they can just Thatcher the Echoes if they actually run it. Guys, the thing I want to say here too is Will did it last round. We need to be making plays.
Yeah. Right. Also bring the knockout too. You don't force it, but if you see the opportunity. Don't feel like you need to force it though.
And I know it's hard to like think it at the moment, but we need to be thinking of what we can do that's going to solve some of the issues that we have with these bands and with what they're doing. Okay, guys, make sure we're playing to win. Like, come on.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
That is the tack timeout from Dark Zero. Just to be clear, SR's was burned early in this match, so call out deciding now is the time to have some words with his team, stem the bleeding before things get too out of hand. When you need a miracle, when you need 5 straight rounds to stay alive in the third map of the BO5, you look to heroes. And there's maybe no player in this lobby who has filled the shoes of a hero more than Spoit. The MVP back during the Berlin Major, the first event of his career, and what a round he has in round number 9 to be able to pull SR back from this moment. Again, shuts down that stock push entirely. Only gets 1 frag from that position, but it forces an entire rotate from the players on DZ. Catches another one early in that round, and then the final frag there too.
Okay, all right. This would be amazing. I'd be so happy. Let's keep climbing. Just keep climbing. At the very least, we're buckling down again. Now just need Ambi Rexen to start firing on all cylinders again. Start coming online, activating.
You said this 5 rounds in a row, and then you still have overtime. It's daunting.
Yeah.
But I mean, you're a major winner. You've seen adversity firsthand. That rogue phase game was one for the ages, and you enter with no real experience. You put up that statement game that he did, and of course you've got good leadership backing you up. Anything is possible on this Rebellion team. They just need to show us that they can accomplish it.
Yeah, both Spoit and Canadian had really difficult roads to win their respective majors. 5 maps required in both. Here comes the roam clear, and just beside the hatch, they will manage to fall back towards the site. No early picks going the way of Dark Zero. The Shopify Rebellion happy to fall off. They do not want to take gunfights when they're playing a combination with Kaid, with Goyo, with the Chonka, with the Echo. They've got so much for this bomb site. 5v5 is exactly where SR want to be.
Kino just did that clear all by himself on Blitz. Reminds me of another particular matchup we saw in Bank about 7 years ago or so. A flying V, may some way we would say, but Kino able to pull that one off. It scares Andy out of his position, and I mean, I don't want to deal with a Blitz going head-to-head with me, especially if you don't know what follows. Kino is scary on shields on his own, but if there's a 1-2 punch, the best bet that you can hope for is to trade it off.
Come on,
Smart move
come
by
on,
the Rebellion is
come
now
on.
that allows Dark Zero to settle in here on this main floor. Using Thatcher effectively, as Callout had spoken of, to get these claws off of the hatches.
Yeah, it's for the claws, it's for the yokai cams, it's for information on even the bulletproof. Like, there is so much utility being brought by SR, but the frags will still favor the Rebellion. Spoit with the first. Canadian falls.
It's alright, it's alright.
That's Newers wagging the dog on Canadian. Down goes NJR to Spoit. So, I mean, you talked about the impact that Spoit could have. He's already on the board in this round. They're going to need so much more out of him now.
We still have Spoit upstairs, which is good.
For the flank above.
I like that, I like that, I like that, I like that.
Get down. Spoit will need to hurry. 8 players still alive in the lobby, and suddenly the timing here has been shortened. Spoit might get another.
Nice.
With one. Spoit takes care of Kino.
Nice Rexen, nice Rexen. Nice Spoit. Spoit's cooking. He's in, he dropped. No way. Oh, thank you, Spoit. Alright, Spoit. Spoit has really come alive. Huge.
Holy shit. How the fuck?
Actually, so fucking massive there.
Came to play. What a clutch. What a flank, Parker. We said they needed a hero on the side of SR, and they have found it. Spoit with a massive maneuver. He finds a frag over towards main stairs, works his way to the top floor of this map. It's Surf on the flank watch, and he caught a little bit lacking as he tries to come back up. NJR managed to be the first one to go down, and then we see Spoit go nuclear here on the bottom floor. V4 of Bank. He wins the 1v1 clutch, stops
Oh,
from making
God.
the 1v3 happen. It could
Alright, this is really, really good for us now.
Captain of Dark Zero could put it
Again, even
together,
if we lose
but
this
at that
map, this
moment,
is still really good for us to get Spoit cooking like that.
No, and I mean, we're starting to see that, right?
Okay. Now we need Ambi back in form. We need Ambi Rexen back in form.
Emerged from the telephone booth with the S on his chest. The S, of course, standing for Spoit.
Super Spoit.
There you go. Still, the road is long for the Rebellion, and while they definitely have confidence on their side, there's still 2 more rounds to go. If there's anything that can really just exemplify how tough this is for Rebellion, it's this gap between the teams. And DZ have so many threats that at any moment can take over a round. Rebellion cannot just keep relying on Spoit. They need somebody else to join him.
That's exactly right, Parker. Spoit has given a lifeline to the Rebellion, but they cannot rely on him getting 3 or 4 kills every single round to win this map. Now you've got yourself an opportunity. You have to be able to capitalize on it. SR, back to the defense, and now it's a tertiary site.
Let's go, Ambi. Let's go,
It could
Ambi.
be a tough one for some
Get yourself some
teams.
food
Down
here.
Defense. Did a great job previously, of course, but
Oh
this
God.
can still be
Oh God.
tricky.
Oh
And
God.
the early damage, but is safe behind these castles for now.
Dark Zero have watched as a team with a
Ugh.
pretty horrendous win rate on defense has run up the score on them 3 in a row now from Shopify Rebellion. Poor fans, they're probably starting to
Come on,
believe
Ambi.
at
Come on,
this
Ambi.
point.
Come on, Ambi.
Heartbreak can happen at a moment's notice.
Ambi's done great things on this position before. It was 21-1 game on Bank where he went absolutely crazy to keep SR competitive here in the playoffs, to advance them here to the grand finals. They could rely on him once more.
Yes,
but they
yes,
have
yes,
everything
Nadian.
set up. The Nitro
Yep, just
waiting
wait,
for
He
Nito.
knows. He knows.
Not played yet.
Spoit a human magnet at that point in time as 2 separate
Perfect timing. Nice, Nadian. Actually, perfect timing.
The dynamite is good, but Spoit is off the board. That is troubling for the Rebellion. They have struggled for kills beyond Spoit. Now it's the reserve players. Ambi drops, gambling what little is left of his HP.
All right, Rexen, Surf, Nadian, come on, please.
Standards, and it will not help the
A miraculous hold.
Zero has a numbers
Nope.
advantage.
Canadian was
Don't do
desperate
that.
for a refrag, but he just couldn't find
Yeah.
J90, so now it's a man lead for Dark Zero. This is their best shot that they've had.
I wouldn't
to
challenge
close out
this.
this game on the tertiary site where SR are going to struggle the most. They've gotten themselves the top floor control. They've gotten themselves a one-man lead, but without the entry point here, Parker, they can
bundle up,
work
stay
the board with
together,
the ram.
honestly.
Newers will start on that now, and they can likely pop that hatch inside of stock if they need to as well. But as the time ticks down, a 3v4 clutch from the Rebellion is not impossible. J90 will rotate over towards the server stairs. This signals to me that they will be going for a square finish. It is critical that they watch their flanks when they go for this.
Don't give them any
Ooh, and
kills.
J90 now
Make 'em
searching
work
for
for it.
Canadian down in the escape tunnel.
You're fucking
Managed to get his way out, but Canadian is trapped at the top of blue stairs.
Oh, he doesn't know.
J90 will see it. Canadian
Oh!
Anti to dog new tricks. That could have blown the round up, but J90 is stunned by that one. He got a little cocky.
He did. He was gonna go for a
They
knife.
can't execute from square. This is a disaster.
And they're going to hunt for Canadian. As he still holds this position, they wander in. Dark Zero had so much
However-
going for them. Down goes Surf.
However,
Okay, no fucking way.
Canadian will now need to be
Nadian,
safe.
just run! No, just run!
Pull off the plate.
Oh.
Yes, with 1 second left.
I didn't realize I didn't realize that they had actually killed the second guy. I only saw the first guy go down and got panicked. Oh, big sad there. All right. Well, can't lose this next map.
Oh, they're fucked.
That was a rough one from Ambi and Rexen, unfortunately. Spoit played fantastic.
Dude. Ooh. 14 kills, yeah, you went crazy. Ambi, quiet.
If Rexen wins that right there, that fight, I think it's still a 1 round.
Hey.
Rexen was just very off there.
He's feeling himself. He's
Okay.
feeling himself. I see that.
Well, now or never.
Yep.
I wish we could have just 3-0'd. This is always so fucking sad when it's close. when we don't just shut them out. Alright.
What you gonna do?
Gotta lock in now. Gotta go nuts to butts. Man. Rexing could have had that fucking 1v1 right there, and then we had the round. Okay, I just gotta get it out of my head. It's alright, it's alright. I can't get tilted.
Oh, hey. Gotta try. Damn it. Whatever, I can't get it. Their cat. Someone with their cat. What's going on? Damn, rebellion fans are here hardcore.
Maybe I switch up the feng shui a bit. Let me throw some of this trash away. Get the good juju back.
Honestly. Do something. This guy, he used his moves to carry it. He's hilarious. That's really
Okay. Alright, there we go. That's big. That's big play right there. That's big moves. Okay, we can breathe again. Now we can win. Now we can win. Woof! Yeek. It was looking better though in the second half of that map. So that bodes well for us at the very least. We started to get it back together. Jinxie is drunk right now for Shopify. Maybe that's what we need. Some inebriated enthusiasm. Good, good. We just need to go back to the tempo that we had in map 1. That is when we are at our best. Against DZ, that is. Against DZ. In general, though, we usually like to play attack pretty slow. But against DZ, I just don't think we can. We literally can't, actually. It's not even I don't think we can, we provably cannot.
Super, not the result you wanted on this map. You now go down, series point against. What's the message for the guys going into this next map?
I wish you need to continue to play to win. I don't think there's a message. You're not going to give up. You're going to keep fighting.
Anything in specific you need to focus on going against this DZ squad?
Well, call out standing right next to me, so it wouldn't be smart to say, would it?
No, it would not. Thank you, Super. Call out. Normally we see you standing behind there, focused, very stern, not a lot of smiling. I saw you crack a smile on that last map. What's making you smile right now?
That basement round, we just used like a very great usage of like the prep we had. We were talking about using the Thatcher for their flash and just running down on them, and the guys executed, and I got fired up. I don't know. You know, it's the best thing I can say.
Incredible. Thank you so much.
Super not giving much away there, as you might expect, but you could argue they gave the map away there. There was times where it looked like they might start to fight back. DZ just too good.
They have been too good, and I mean, love the humility from Call Out. I mean, great way to put it. You get fired up when you see the team executing on all cylinders. And I think that's what we saw throughout the whole map. I mean, it's really been a DZ train. Their coordination so far has been amazing in the way that they go for the executes. It's just one of those things that when everything's working and you have an amazing player to be able to stack on top of it.
We should have had this round.
I mean, you see what the outcome is. They're essentially just
there was quite a few winnable rounds there that we just gave away.
Getting kills. I mean, I think this round in particular was a good J90 round, but a team-oriented round towards the end. They get their picks, 3v3. They push. Watch everybody from Dark Zero in unison from every different lane. You can see them Newers on one side, you see NGR on the other side, them pushing all together to be able to execute. That's just showing the difference on how coordinated DZ are compared to what SR showing.
It's very different, and for DZ, especially going into this matchup again, where I talk about that domestic matchup back and forth, they were always so responsive on that defensive half, where you would think SR was all set in stone. We heard even SR in some of those timeouts what they wanted to do, how they were going to counterplay, but they just absolutely not could get over that hurdle. DZ constantly always meeting them at the front door and then forcing SR's hand every single time throughout that defensive half.
Lax, when it comes to professional Siege, especially a grand final, the devil's in the detail. What was one of the key points from this map?
I mean, it's no brainer. The Blacklight detail certainly has to fall on Kino. Once again, playing that smoke shotgun inside of Blue. I mean, he really forced SR's hand here. Not only stalling out time once again, but he's playing for his
This
life.
was another easily winnable round for us.
He has to be a thorn in the Rebellion side.
That was just really bad there, actually.
To leave Blue, and then because of that, they have to panic. They have to go for this execute, and because of it, Kino gets the down. They go for the revive. That then allows Jack to swing out into Garage, get the two-piece, clean up shop, and it's why we have to highlight Kino and give him the Blacklight detail.
I mean, we talk about Kino in those death spots. He's so consistent. He's so good. He understands how to use his utility. Best shotgun player in the game by far. The Kino shot.
Okay. In the past, we let it go. We let it go. And now, map 4, we take it. Grab it by the fucking melons and say, thank you, ma'am.
It's never nice to have you back against the wall.
Let's get it. Let's get it. We need this. Well, it's literally do or die. So yeah, we very much need it.
In Siege since 2022. On the flip side, you got Shopify Rebellion potentially about to have their hearts broken on home soil. Lax, what are they going to be talking about right now?
I mean, you gotta reset. That's the beauty of this, is you can just wipe it away. You know where things went wrong, and thankfully they did start to bounce back. I mean, we did see that huge round 10 from Spoit being able to bring that round back. Inevitably, had they lost that, this wouldn't be the series that almost went the distance here to bring it to an overtime. But fact of the matter is, I mean, everyone has to be on the same page again. They have to find that same sort of synergy that we saw in their Twisted Minds game, that we saw in that even got them here, to say the least. So everything has to start coming together.
I mean, with Going to Cafe, DZ are currently 3-0 record on it, SR 5-2. It's a very even match. I think the edge when it comes to DZ, though, is the utility. The way that they're using these unique operators to get that first pick. If you're SR, you need to be able to run more traps, find a way.
I just think we're losing our gunfights. I think we got a little shaky. If we just win our fights, which we are taking sometimes, we're back to being golden. We just keep losing our fights.
It's been a long time since he's been in a situation like this.
Which is uncharacteristic of this squad.
He's not going to let this opportunity go, Fox, without kicking and screaming.
Yeah, not at all. We were talking about Ambi all weekend, and when push comes to shove, we haven't seen him too much. Spoyd has shown up. He really did his absolute best on Bank to be able to keep his team alive. And if we can keep seeing that, I mean, when you get a player fired up, we always talk about it. The best way to get momentum back, if you have a player that's getting clip after clip, big rounds, that's a surefire way to get that momentum back into your spirits.
Absolutely. Troy the boy, Canadian. Some highs and lows for sure in map 3 there. He needs to come out and he needs to lead this team.
Listen, it's not just on Troy, it's on the entire team. It wasn't just on one single individual on this SR roster that got them to this grand final. It was every single one of these players coming in with their ideas, coming in with their plays, coming in with their moments, their clutches, whatever it might be.
Okay.
That's where they were finding the rhythm.
This is the time. This is the time, guys. This is the time.
Like a brand new roster than what we saw back during kickoff. They have to be able to find that and make it work and gel quickly.
I mean, SR was still doing an amazing job at getting the opening kills. When you look at the statistics after watching the match, a lot of it for Dark Zero really was those late round scenarios, being able to understand how the execute's going to come through, and they had the utility for it. That was the biggest downfall. SR didn't have a response for those cheese operators. A lot of their problem solving was maybe get a flank from Spoyd, maybe get a 2-on-1 push. It wasn't really utility based, and that's where I believe DZ got the edge on them.
Rebellion, Cafe, how are you feeling about it?
I'm not feeling too great. However, like I did say, they did start to fight back towards the end of that bank. I need to see something right out the gate, or I can see DZ steamrolling it.
We need a big play. It's one of those maps that's going to hinder Ambi's ability to get active on the entry because information's there, but Cafe's such a small map. It's very difficult to find openings, find a way to catch DZ off guard. It's really going to come down to an adaptation game, the utility. I'd be surprised if we don't see some shields just to be able to get the foot in the door from SR to be able to progress through the rounds.
I'll tell you what, you mentioned Ambi there. One person in particular is hoping for a big Ambi performance in this next map is his mum, and Jonah's standing by with her right now.
Yeah, guys, thank you. I'm here with Ambi's mom in the crowd. I can't imagine.
Holy
what this
fuck,
must
that
be like for you,
cosplay.
watching your son up there playing. What is that feeling like, watching him up there, and as he's been, for the most part, conquering everybody so far this week?
It's amazing. I know Noor's mom and grandma are here as well. My mom is here as well. The crowd behind us is amazing. It's
Yep, and now we just need we need to do it. Now we need to take it home.
Let's go.
Agreed.
We've got to take it home now.
You could tell him right now, going into this map with their backs against the wall.
That they're the rebellion and they got this.
Incredible. Thank you
That's
so
so
much.
sweet.
Back to you guys.
All right, come on. Come on.
He's like,
Isn't it? You've just got to remember who you
Sweet,
are and
but
what brought you to the grand final, and not
also-
forget all of the phenomenal performances you're putting up to this point, and of course on map 1 too. This is an opportunity to get back to winning ways, and it's like you said, like,
Let's get a great start
Sure
here.
do. I mean, we talked about it. It's the mentality.
All I
It's
gotta
the
say is
momentum.
also,
At this
you
point,
never know
we
the
already knew these
pace.
two maps were going to
I
go
love the
in
rest.
DZ's favor. Both of these teams understand it's a marathon, not a sprint. You're going to Cafe. You have to be able to focus on exactly what's going wrong. I'm sure. I mean, Super didn't say it in the interview, but they know exactly what the issue is. They know how to fix it. If they can just get that confidence back, we already got Spoyd shooting. At the end of the day, if the rest of the team shows up, it's anybody's ball game.
I think we do have to put a little more pressure on Ambi because he really has been a walking highlight reel, and since coming into this match, we haven't seen that same sort of play from him. So I really, really want to emphasize a big performance coming out of Ambi will pay dividends for this team to be able to find something.
I've got to do a quick check with the crowd here. This might be the last time. Who's taking this map? Is it going to be Dark Zero? Or will it be Shopify Rebellion?
Yeah!
Once again, wonderful casters in Tero and
Let's
Jesse.
go. All right, come on. Big Cafe. Big Cafe.
Long road here for a lot of teams, and this might be the finale. Will we be treated to a fifth map, or Jesse, do you feel Cafe is the end of the road?
Cafe is going to be a real big obstacle, if nothing else, for the Rebellion, Parker. This is a map that DZ have been undefeated on throughout the season so far. Foxay mentioned it on the desk. 3-0 over the last couple of months. They beat Space Station back during the NAL kickoff. They beat Los here in Salt Lake
Okay,
City.
they're still smiling. The vibes seem good.
They beat the Rebellion
Ambi was just
back to
laughing.
the lower
Surf was smiling.
finals of the NAL kickoff.
Okay,
These teams
good.
have a
Vibes
history
are there.
on
If
Cap.
they
Vibes are there.
If Shopify Rebellion win here, they're gonna win the whole thing.
Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's pull it off.
It has been really
I want
tough
them to win
for
so
the
bad.
Fraggers on Shopify Rebellion. I mean,
They have gone
outside
on a
of Sport, there really
generational
hasn't been a lot of
run.
life on this team for the last 2 maps.
So
He said
many
he
people
needed
counted
heroes.
them out.
Put on that cape.
I
Who
want
doesn't
them to
hero
win it
captain
so
Chris?
bad. I want them to take the
Like
trophy.
Ambi, I think we had a great interview with her in the crowd, and she said it, right? Remember who you are. Remember that you're the Rebellion. This team have beaten so many incredible opponents just to get here to the grand finals. They battled their way through the lower bracket in NAL kickoff. They battled their way through phase 1 against so many of these international teams. They made it through Swiss, they made it through G2, they made it through Twisted Minds, and now here against Dark Zero, they have to remember what they're made of. It can't be a one-hero performance. They tried that on Bank, and it wasn't good enough. More than one person has to step up and be the hero for the Rebellion. It has to be a team effort.
And I mean those 2 players whose names
Let's get it early. Let's take the lead early. Let's give them nothing. Starve them.
Rexon has only had 6 kills in the 2 maps that followed. That is far below what we expect of him. For Ambi, that number is 8. 8 kills through the next 2 maps. Again, way below. We're used to seeing Ambi drop more than 8 kills a map, Jesse. So things are not going very well here on the
All right, come on,
fragging
boys.
side of
Come
the
on, boys. Come on, boys. Come on, boys.
we thought might be an
Come on,
issue
boys.
for Dark Zero, but frankly has not really materialized. J90 and Co have dominated the Rebellion in terms of kills. If they keep that up, this is their map. We could be done this major championship in no time at all.
4 years ago in Berlin, Spoit faced a very similar situation where he was down 2-1 in a best of 5. That was versus FaZe Clan. And I don't need to remind you how that one went. Rogue were able to win map 4, they won map 5, maximum overtime, 8-7 on the final map. It took everything that they had to be able to win that major. Oh, so many
Drone
years
this,
ago,
drone
and they'll
this.
have to battle
Oh,
back
fuck.
once more to do it here. First fight on the white stairs, it's going to be favoring Faults.
We're just pushing blind. Damn.
I didn't hear a single phone call ring out. That is devastating for the Rebellion to lose that early on. Volt sustaining a little bit of damage. I'm not exactly sure from where. But we'll still survive for the time being as now Kino goes
There you go,
for rotate.
Spoit.
There's Spoit on the board. Down goes Newers.
Oh, wow.
For Spoit to be in and immediately follows up with his second EE1D. Still 1 remains in pocket as we hit the halfway point here of round number 1.
Jen, I know, still top floor. He doesn't have a good way back.
Oh.
His way out of it.
He's 1 HP. He's 1 HP. Oh, and that's GG. Tough. All right.
And now these numbers continue to get worse for SR.
Yeah. Canadian not getting that kill actually just really cooked that. Him surviving with 1 HP gets 2 more. That's tough. That's just so tough, man. That's so tough.
We've got another good duo moment from them. As DZ blanks Rebellion on that one and takes the first round.
I mean, we watched Bank together, Parker. That was the battle between J90 and Spoit. Oh, each of them having hero rounds to bring that map as close as it was, but in the end, it was J90 that was the better of the two. Spoit not consistent enough, and it's not a coincidence that this frag right here on to Spoit, after he downs Canadian, it's the real difference maker in this round. It's a final frag just on the escape down the hatch. Lights out this event.
I'm getting scared.
Especially in these grand finals.
I'm sure you are.
Career. Rebellion need an answer.
Busting out the old SpongeBob references. We're in the dire straits. It's desperation.
Entire tournament, but I mean I'm not making the call, so I mean I don't care. It's not up to me. But J90 also comes from just a lovely family. Had some time to talk to them in Boston. They are wonderful people. They seemingly have raised a great son, and frankly, they've raised a hell of a competitor at this point in time.
Yeah, I mean, he was part of that Astralis roster that lost in Charlotte a few years ago when Canadian and NJR became major champions. Finally back in a final, his first one since that major. He's been waiting a long time for this moment.
Alright, come on boys, come on boys, come on boys. Stay hot, Spoit. Spoit and Surf have been very good. We just need everyone else to start activating.
These individual performances again, because anybody can step up at a moment's notice. You don't make it to the grand finals without somebody pulling off a hero. Mighty Kino dives off the top rope. Down goes Surf. So we're worried about somebody upstairs. There's no way he's gonna contest this again, right? I mean, he's got
Don't
his
do it,
angle
don't do
held
it, just
by
don't do it.
Spike, shotgun out, jostling around. How does he
Oh,
manage
thank
to
God.
get
Alright, there you go,
away?
Ambi.
Ambi finally brings him down, but that one looked like they might allow him to slip through their fingers.
Yeah, must get a kill coming through from Ambi. Important that he's able to shut that one down. If Kino gets another or even gets away there, that is a huge blunder. But the Rebellion don't falter. Still lots of players here on the top
Come on,
floor.
Ambi.
Ambi
Come on,
gonna
Ambi.
enter in through the bottom, actually. He's gonna work his way up these red stairs. There's a couple of players nearby. He's gotta be worried about faults. He's on the other side of a soft wall. They don't necessarily know he's here, but one logic bomb could change all of that. Here it comes.
Very well timed. Ambi was not able to do anything with
There you
it.
go, Spoit.
Back in that very first round, Spoit will now take down
Good
Noobs.
kill. Good pick.
As SR march over towards the adjoining part of this map, looking to get to the bomb site. It's not over in mining though. So while they might have that pivotal control, they still need to translate that to dining room and reading. And with just a little bit over a minute to go, they've got a numbers advantage. They're in all right shape.
They still don't know where Faults is though, Parker. That's my big concern. Despite the logic bomb being played right on the other side of that wall,
Just fucking shoot this off wall.
they do not know he's here. They
Take some strats out of my playbook where I just shoot anything soft. Fuck. Shit.
One logic bomb though, so they might be able to get his whereabouts pinned down as he sits next to a soft wall. There's a DMR on the other side of that too. You know how much damage
Oh,
a DMR can
man.
do.
Ambi.
Ambi outdueled by J9O. That will throw a spanner in the works for this Rebellion execute, and there's Bolt compelled to action.
Yeah, we just never found him.
Canadian sidearm out, and he finds
Alright, well.
Spoit the intended target. Fultz, no expression on his face. Ice in the veins.
I don't know what's happening to us here. I don't know why Ambi does that and then it instantly goes in before the gun's even ready. I don't know. It seems like an unnecessary risk to take.
Just under that hatch, was sitting inside a pillar for almost 2 full minutes. Never was it droned out, never was it found by the logic bomb, and when that moment is required of him, he finds the frags. Starts off with an aggressive move from Kino. This goes 1 for 1, but right off the
Ooh.
this push for what SR wanted to go for. I liked the recovery. It's a great shot from Spoit inside mining. Jane, I know, of course he's good for 1, but falls. The real MVP. The fact that he finds not 1, not 2, but 3 frags from this position inside a pillar is absolutely disgusting. 2-0 now.
All right. It's oof.
A profound impact on these games, Jesse, and a big one was
We are indeed getting mugged.
take your gun and maybe stick it a little bit farther away from your face, right? Because the CZ75.
Rexon has just been fully shut down. Rexon and Ambi. I'm really confused on what's been going on with Ambi. He's just not playing like himself in the last couple maps.
Play close quarters, as we saw a couple players do on
I don't know. I think he's getting a little tilted.
is now a viable
And I don't just mean like losing fights, but he's just running in kind of recklessly. Like he's never expecting anyone.
En route to a dominating 7-2. If he has that kind of game here on Cafe, oh boy, SR, you might be counting these rounds real quick.
Perfect rotation on the line for Dark Zero. It was denied to them back on bank. SR were able to stop the bleeding momentarily on their early attacks. It's been a consistent trend this map where SR have chosen to start the attack, DZ have chosen to start defense, so we've gotten a lot of the same side starts. Nitro from Newers will miss and give his position away, but this is
Come on.
down on the finishing side, Parker. This is going to be a slow round coming through. SR
So much
don't
Nitro.
seemingly have a lot of pressure top floor though, so despite all of this space being relatively free, they might just be trying to force this in through Baker.
Kino was hoping that mute jammer would keep him safe for a little bit of time. Oh my goodness! Fultz blows them up, and with it, maybe the round.
Yeah.
Taken down by one. Well timed.
Yeah.
Easy of a huge leg up now here in round 3.
Now what do? Shopify Rebellion down by 2. It's a huge Nitro to come out. Dark Zero, they just have to bide their time, but Ambi has something to say about it. Finds the head of Fault over towards Restaurant. We're back within 1.
They have killed the raid boss.
There's another one though, Parker. He's lurking inside a VIP. J9O yet to die in this match.
Bit of an idea of his position. Takes some damage from the barbed wire. There's Newers. He was distracted, looking over in Surf's position. They just
All right.
Dark Zero playing with their food at this
Just
point
getting
in time.
run down.
1v4. I think we know where he's going. This will be a timeout. So Rexon will go upstairs, sit and wait. Dark Zero will win the round, and there is still a minute to go.
All right. It's really out of control.
This issue. I don't even know what you discuss at this point in time. What has Super not said? On Chalet, on Bank, now on Cafe. What more can he say to this team?
Was not saying anything.
What's he
now.
doing? Well, you can't. You literally can't win this here. So they're just taking this as a free timeout. There is literally nothing Rexon can do on this site 1v4. So he's just using it as a timeout.
To the fullest extent that they needed, but they did start.
So that way they can talk through and maybe come up with a different game plan.
We are not at that point yet. It's 2-0. It's about to be 3-0 on Cafe. It is not a game over situation, but with how good DZ have been playing. With Faults racking kill after kill, finding unique and creative ways to get those kills. With Jane, I know, still having a flawless game so far, and with everyone on DZ working together, you have to be perfect.
I just think you need to just put Nadian back on a shield up and just try and shove it down their throat.
Next step are the operator bans, and I mean,
We can't play slow against them. I don't know why we keep trying. We cannot play slow against them. We don't win that. We haven't won that.
for Shopify Rebellion.
Just stick Nadian on shield and just try and run it at him.
Blank stares. And frankly, for good reason. It has been a slog here for SR over the last two maps. The hope was that after you got demolished over on Chalet that you'd be able to fix it. Maybe the timeout here will do.
I want us to be clearing every round. Avoid the lurk, like we can play Snowside, but they're literally camping it and they're farming us on that. And we're trying to force them and we're getting punished solo for that, okay? Guys, play into our game, fucking clear these guys every round, okay? For C1, they're only running a Rooney. We can clear that guy if we want to. We have the option to clear that.
The C1 fast that can work too.
Yeah, we can clear. Listen to me. We need to make sure we're checking for thorn traps, like repelling in heaven if we want to. We don't even have to do that. We can just go for that kill. But guys, stop forcing shit solo. Let's just clear and play together. All right?
Yeah.
These last 3 rounds here, every fucking round, everything you got. Make plays to win the fucking game, guys.
Yep.
Come on.
We have the BB, we have the Glaz. I think all that really nade spam, bro. Like Hunger, who the fuck you said to us? We just nade spam the corners. Like,
that is the most firm I have heard from a super attack timeout in a very long time. Some frustration starting to build on the side of the Rebellion, but the message is clear. They have to be playing together. They have to be clearing these angles. They can't keep trying to force individual plays because Dark Zero, they're winning those over and over again.
Yeah. That's true, they are. We are not winning our individual plays. We're losing our gunfights 1v1.
They talk to Super again. We got a timeout, of course, after round 6 as well, but Shopify Rebellion, that might be too little too late.
Yeah, I mean, you got yourself in quite a hole. We like the turnaround that we started to see on Bang, but it was too little too late. Now it's DZ running up the score on you here, and I mean, what more is there to say? After Dark
Alright, come on guys, please!
Vaulted to the top of a lot of people's predictions to be the favored team. Granted, you only had 2 options. But if you take down the world champions, you've been the Kingslayers. For good reason, they think you're going to succeed.
This would be legendary if we can pull this off.
And the depth that this team has is just, it's suffocating.
DZ have had a rough couple of years. The fans in the audience will know it better than anyone. They have been struggling over the last 2 years, but this rebuild...
There we go, Nadian on a shield up, good.
They have dominated this tournament so far. Now after the attack timeout, they can really put their foot down, stop any momentum being built by SR. This is a critical round. If DZ can win this one, if they can win Mining and Dining for a second time, close the door on SR, stop their hopes from coming alive here in this first half of Cafe, Parker, I think that might be good enough for a trophy.
Completely agreed with you. So, what happens in the next 2 minutes here? Rebellion averaging less than 2 kills around, and it's not going to be a good start. Kino destroys
that Nitro. And we just lost
Spoit.
Oh! Hey, see, we're losing every fight. I mean, that's GG. I don't think there's any way we bounce back. But I don't know what happened. We can't win any of our fights now.
Dark Zero dominant from top to bottom. 4-0 now in the most confident, inspiring round we have seen all day long. Shopify Rebellion looks stunned.
Yeah. Alright, I mean, it was still an incredible run. Even just getting here was really impressive. Would have liked to have seen it go differently, but DZ's just played so well this whole tourney. They did the same shit to FaZe yesterday. They're just playing super fucking well. We looked incredibly good map 1. I thought we really had it, but it is what it is, man. DZ's just too good. They're too good.
The most amazing thing about the last 4 rounds, it's been both Kino and Fultz striking first. Those are not the guys.
GG. GG to them. Let's see if my OBS messes up or not. And it did. I knew it would. Alright, adios.